Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, everywhere, all around the world and beyond. This is Golf Mike Zero, Uniform Bravo. Graham here, your net control for this week's International Radio Network's KB1 Multimode Net, which will begin in approximately 3 minutes' time. Please, folks, stand by for the net. Thank you. It's Friday, it's 9 p.m. here in the UK, and that can mean only one thing, folks. It's time for this week's edition of the International Radio Network, KB1 Multimode Net. And this is Golf Mike Zero, Uniform Bravo. Graham here in Alloa, Central Scotland, along with Mike 7, Hotel Quebec Sierra, Helen, Queen of Scotland, observing from the Royal Box. Before we get going proper, let's go and find out if there is any emergency or priority traffic. If so, please call now. Very good, nothing heard. Well, folks, this net does meet every single Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 9 p.m. UK time, presently 2000 UTC. And there are, of course, many ways and many modes that you can use to access this net. And for details of the IRN multimode system, please check out our website on the interweb at allthews.irn.radio. That's irn.radio. We are, of course, permanently connected to the Extended Freedom Network, and you can find out more about them also on the interweb by going to allthews.extendedfreedom.network. That's extendedfreedom.network. At this stage, also do want to say thank you so much to all the people that have connected up their nodes, repeaters, networks, and gateways, and whatever else for this net to happen. I appreciate it every single week so much. It's great to catch up with friends we've known for years now. And without you guys connecting us all up together on a Friday, it just would not be the same, that's for sure. So you know who you are. Thank you so much. I'll just take a wee pip. GM0UUB and Net Control continuing. Well, folks, be mindful of this fantastic multi-mode system, that it does require a little bit of social distancing. Yes, that's a good 4 or 5 seconds pause in between transmissions, just to allow the network to take a little breather and to reset all the links. Also, be mindful of the 3-minute timeout. Now, of course, we love to hear all your news and all your views. But if you think you're getting anywhere close to 3 minutes, just take a wee pip or a pause. Both work equally well, hi, and then just pick it back up and continue, or else you might lose the rest of your transmission. So there we go, folks. And we are also using NetLogger. If you want to follow along on NetLogger and see all the check-ins being populated right before your eyes on screen, and also make use of that almost instant message blue chat box thingy there, then please just select IRN KB1 Multimode Net on your NetLogger app, and it's all available on netlogger.org for Linux, Mac, and Windows. So good stuff. Anyway, where are we? Yes, and I will be keeping an eye on the AIM window there, folks. So if you want to send a wee message and say hi and whatever else, share some information, then please feel free to do so. Okay, I'll take a wee pause this time. Okay, GM0UUB continuing. Well, of course, folks, it is the mission of the International Radio Network to promote the amateur radio hobby to those interested in radio communication. We give those with an interest the opportunity to gain experience in radio communications, theory, technology, and, of course, fellowship along the way. This is a directed net, and when checking in, please give me your call sign slowly, phonetically, and twice. That's your call sign, slowly, phonetically, and twice, and we'll try and get you on the log first time round with no mistookies. So, folks, well, it is, of course, the Friday night. We're looking for some check-ins. It's the first round of check-ins. Anything can happen. We've got a podium to fill, so let's see who gets medals this week. And when checking in, if you happen to be mobile or short time, do let me know, and I'll try and remember to take you first. Okay, well, this is GM0UUB. It's Graham here. It's the International Radio Network's KB1 Multimode Net. We're looking for check-ins. You know what to do, folks. Please check in now.
2 Whiskey Zero Kilo Yankee Hotel. 2 Whiskey Zero Kilo Yankee Hotel. That's in Newport, South Wales.
Net Control, please check in. Kilo Bravo 1, Uniform Papa Zulu. That's Kilo Bravo 1, Uniform Papa Zulu. Bob, Springfield, Massachusetts.
This is Lima Golf Mike. Mike 7 Lima Golf Mike, unicycle.
Is November 3, Delta Mike Charlie. November 3, Delta Mike Charlie. Dave, Riesel, Texas, USA.
Okay, folks, well, thank you so much. The first round of check-ins on this very first list. We've got a brand new check-in, the first of the day. And it's wonderful. Week after week, we're having so many new check-ins coming into the net, and it's absolutely wonderful. Even better to see them come back again. But this week's first brand new checker-inner is Dave out there in Texas, November 3, Delta Mike Charlie. We've got you on the list, sir. We've got Thomas out there in East Midlands, Englandshire, also known as M7LGM. I think he's unicycling. I don't know if that means he's mobile and needs to go first. I'm not too sure. Anyway, let's have a look at the podium and just see who's there. And well, we do see Uncle Bob, the owner of the International Radio Network, all the way from Springfield, Massachusetts, with a nice shiny bronze medal around his neck, also known as KB1 UPZ. And then, of course, we've got that terrible twosome, that terrible pair, who often slug it out to see who gets on top. But, well, once again, Dave, you're having to go and be happy with a silver medal. So Victor Echo 6, Delta Charlie Victor, Dave, you're on the list. And the top of the list, the top of the podium, it's 2 Whiskey Zero, Kilo Yankee Hotel, the kind young ham all the way from Newport, South Wales. Declan, you are there, my friend. So, okay, a couple of things to do before we start on the top of the list. The first time is M7LGM. Thomas, did you say you're out unicycling? Was that what you said or something? Does that mean you're mobile? And do you need to go first, sir? Or will we just leave you on the list and come round to you shortly? Thomas, please, over to you, sir.
M7LGM. No, you don't have to. I can wait at the list or something. Yeah, I just wanted to check in. Idling on a unicycle or something. So yeah, I can go at the bottom of the list or wherever I am. Back to you from M7LGM.
Thank you, Thomas, out there unicycling. Very good. Well, okay, no, you're fourth on the list, sir. We'll get round to you shortly. And let me just give a wee shout out to the brand new checker-inner there, Dave, out there in Texas. November 3, Delta Mike Charlie. Dave, welcome to the net, sir. Happy Friday to you. And Dave, just to let you know, it is a bit of a rag-chew net, and although you're just number 5, it can take maybe, 15 minutes, or maybe even sometimes more, to come round to you. So I don't know how long you've got there, Dave, so just want to see if you're okay to hang on that length of time, or do we need to have a quick chat with you right now and find out more about Dave's world? November 3, Delta Mike Charlie from Golf Mike 0, Uniform Bravo. It's Graham here, and Dave, welcome, sir, and over to you.
Through DMC. Go ahead and start your net. I appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Dave. We'll give you a call in a few minutes. So thanks so much, Dave. Good to see you there. Okay, well, let's go up to the top of the list and the top of the podium, and there we find our friend Declan, who's on a long, long holiday, and he's finished his exams. The season of exams is over. He's got, I think, 3 years of a holiday. I'm not too sure. Maybe I got that wrong. Might be exaggerating. We'll find out when we go and speak to Declan. 2 Whiskey Zero, Kilo Yankee Hotel. Happy Friday, Declan. How are you, sir? And the microphone, my friend. It's all yours.
Okay, from 2 Whiskey Zero, Kilo Yankee Hotel. Well, hello. I'm doing well, thank you. And there's not too much for me to talk about here today. Just wanted to come on and check in, give you one for the numbers, get myself on top of the list as usual. And all is well on this front of on this side here. We've had some good days. Most of the week has been decent at the very least. It's been 19 degrees highs last couple of days. But we did get up to, I think, around 27, 28 degrees Celsius midweek, which was pretty nice. But now it's starting to simmer out again. I think that's our summer done, hi. But yeah, currently still on a break from school, which has been so far, it's been 2 weeks and 2 days since I had my last day in school, and I've still got about 2 months left off. So pretty happy about that. Although the time will probably pass me by in a blink, and then all of a sudden I'll be back in school, and I'll be back at for sixth form, and I'll be taking my A levels and all of that sort of stuff. Everything passes by really fast when it's good. So, oh well. Trying to think if there's really much I can add on. Got two things planned for the near future. For the meantime, in the time we're spending off. Going up to Blackpool in England. Pretty sure next week, and then also a bit later on, in time, we shall probably be headed up your way. There, which is exciting. Not going to reveal dates, I'm just going to say that it's soon. And leave it at that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it back to you, Graham, and yeah, hope everyone on the net is great. From 2 Whiskey 0 Kilo, yeah.
Very good, Declan, my friend, and yeah, you were just timing out as you were passing it back. That's pretty well timed there, sir. And yeah, I did actually hear there's some alert going up on some of the Scottish kind of notice boards there and the chat rooms and everything else that there seems to be a planned Welsh invasion to Scotland sometime in August. So we're going to have to look out for that, see if we can reinforce the borders and see what's happening there. Anyway, no, actually we're so much looking forward to it. We really are. It'd be great to see you again there, my friend. It really would be. And do enjoy Blackpool, even without Helen, Queen of Scotland, and myself winding you up. You know, I'm sure you'll have a great time. And of course, we have to stay here with our Mac the dog, who wasn't too happy that we left him the last time. Goodness. But anyway, Declan, great to hear from you, sir. And glad you're just taking it easy, just having a rest. And you had a very busy few months there. And up to the exams and through the exam season. So a well-deserved rest, a good old break, and recuperate, regenerate, and replace the old energy and everything else, and enjoy. So like I say, enjoy your trip to Blackpool, and yeah, looking forward to seeing you up here in Scotland as well the following month. So great stuff. Anyway, back to you, Declan, for anything else. 2 Whiskey 0 Kilo Yankee Hotel from GM0 UUB Net Control.
Okay, from 2 Whiskey 0 Kilo Yankee Hotel, I am looking forward to looking forward to meeting up again. Should be a lot of fun. So yeah. Just to check, was there anything else that you were asking me before I move along? Not before I move along, before you can move along. Before I go ahead and say 73 and you can move along. I almost took over the net then. GM0 UUB from 2 Whiskey 0 Kilo Yankee Hotel.
Very good, Declan. No, there was no specific question whatsoever there, sir. Just wishing you well and all the best for your trip to Blackpool. Looking forward to seeing you in August as well with the Welsh invasion to Scotland. And yeah, that was it. So really just pass it back to you for any final comments you have there, sir. To 2W0, Kind Young Ham from GM0 UUB.
Well, I just want to go ahead and reiterate that I hope everyone's doing well here, and hope everyone has a good weekend, and hopefully I will speak to you soon. So, well, I know I'll speak to you soon. So we'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and say 73. I can let you move along. So with that, back to you.
Very good, Declan. I really do appreciate you being there. And, well, have yourself a wonderful week next week and everything else. And say hi to your your mum and dad there, maybe they'll check in. We'll just have to wait and see. But all the best, and take care. And it's always great to speak to you there, Declan. And once again, congratulations being top of the podium, knocking our poor pal Dave. Desperate Dave, DJ Dave, all the way from Calgary, Alberta. He does his best, but oh goodness me, Dave, you did do your best. But we'll have to say 73-2, 2 Whiskey 0 Kilo Yankee Hotel, who did once again just tread on you in the check-in corridor. It's a dangerous place to be. Victor Echo 6, Delta Charlie, Victor, Dave, happy Friday to you, sir. At the microphone, it's all yours.
Victor Echo 6, Delta Charlie, Victor returning. Well, good evening, Gran, Helen, and everyone on net. Good afternoon from Calgary. We've got a bright, sunny day. It was raining last night. We heard it, but other than that, that was yesterday, is now today. Here we are on another weekend. What can I say? Jeez. Already for us. The end of the week, heading into a weekend. So I keep saying this, but really, time really does fly. But I hope everyone has a great weekend. Enjoy whatever it is. I'm heading up to the radio club tomorrow morning. And there you go. And of course, what else? Oh, Heather's birthday is coming up on the 2nd of July here. So coming around the corner. So there you go. And that's about it. And so we're still under water restrictions, although they say supposed to be maybe possibly lifted by the 1st. We'll see how that goes. That means I'm going to have an hour or more shower. Who knows? Anyways, we'll pass it back to Net Control.
Very good, Dave. Well, as ever, great to hear from you, sir. And, well, first of all, yes, time is rattling on. Honestly, I thought it was just maybe yesterday, at the most 2 days ago when you did your IRN Friendship Net, and, of course, that was Monday. On the parts of which is part of our network, which is not RF linked, so for licensed and non-licensed members, just put that in. And it just feels that then maybe a day before that, when I was doing the Friday KB1 Multimode Net. So where did the days go? Anyway, Dave, thank you so much for being there. And well, you did mention Heather's birthday. What you failed to say was what her age is. So we're all waiting with interest just to see how old Heather will be. I think you said on the 2nd, which is not far away. When is the 2nd? Is that Tuesday? I think it is. Because I think on Thursday is the 4th of July, and we've got our elections. Not we're going to be talking politics at all, but I'm kind of well, there you go. Thursday next week, and that's for our UK elections here for the government. So we'll just have to see where that goes. Oh dear. I can't say we're spoiled for choice. But anyway, Dave, thank you. So, yes, you have to report on Heather's birthday, and I think you said the 2nd. How old will she be? And, of course, I'm asking that tongue-in-cheek. And glad to hear your water restrictions are going to be stopping soon. That's been a long time. That's many weeks. So, goodness, I don't know, is Calgary and surrounding areas, are you all kind of smelling a little bit, walking around the town, keeping, back to social distancing, keeping a good 5 yards away from each other because no one showered for weeks and months? I'm not too sure. You can tell us. I'll pass it back to you, sir. VE6DCV from GM0 UUB, just been a little bit cheeky.
VE6DCV returning. For sure. Well, no. We can still shower. Just got to keep it short. So, oh boy, I tell you, that's been a challenge. But other than that, Heather, she'll be turning 43 soon, so there you go. And there you go. I was going to say now, Graham, my mother always told me never to ask a woman her age, but hey, different when you're married, right? There you go. Everyone do take care. Have a great weekend. And who knows? They say by the 1st maybe, but they got to do a few things there, like flush the line, test the water, and I don't think it'll be. I would be surprised if it's done by Monday, but you know what? You'd be surprised. They've been working on this thing for 24 hours, so it's been a while. So There you go. Yeah, and what have you. So we'll see how it goes. We'll report again on that on Monday during the Friendship Net, as you had mentioned. So everyone, take care. Graham, Helen, we'll talk to you guys, well, Monday and maybe before then for sure. Back to Net Control.
Well, thank you so much, Dave. And let me just say happy birthday an early happy birthday to Heather there. And you can give her a wee extra Scottish squeeze from myself and Helen, if you don't mind, sir, for her birthday coming up. And we look forward to catching up with Heather in other places. Just to remind everybody, of course, the International Radio Network does comprise of various kind of connections. There are two main kind of platforms. One is this one with our multimode network with various analog and digital connections and the applications on your phone and everything else that you can use for licensed only operators. Then we do have another platform based purely on the Zello and TeamSpeak connections, where we do run different nets and everything else for our non-licensed members and introducing them to the wonderful world of ham radio operating and etiquette and everything else. And many of whom do go on to achieve their own amateur radio licenses. And my wife, MM7HQS, can vouch for that as well. So great stuff. And of course, Dave there does a wonderful net, the Friendship Net, on a Monday on that non-RF system. Please do check it out on the website, allthews.irn.radio. And we do love to hear all the licensed operators coming in, and it really does offer a lot of encouragement to our unlicensed members to, like I say, achieve their license. So good stuff. Anyway, Dave, you take care, sir, and I hope you get that waterworks sorted out. I think you said by the 1st. That'd be great. If not, I'm sure you can get some tablets to help with your water. Oh, no, a different waterworks. That's a different thing. Okay, well, Dave, take care, sir. We'll wish you all the best and have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe and stay well, and we'll say 73 to Victor Echo 6, Delta Charlie Victor. And with that, let's go to Springfield, Massachusetts. And that's where we find our pal, Uncle Bob, also known as KB1 UPZ. Bob, welcome, sir. Happy Friday. And the microphone, of course, it's all yours.
KB1 UPG returning. Good evening, Graham, and I'm sure Helen's in the background in the Royal Box. Good evening to her as well. And Dave, good evening to you, and Heather, if she's there in the background. And whoever else is listening here on the net. Nice to hear so many people so far. And that's great. Some new check-ins. That's a great thing. Really good. Really happy to hear that. Yeah, we're having a really good day here in Springfield. It's not so warm today. It's about 75 degrees Fahrenheit, which is comfortable enough for me. I don't have to run my air conditioner today, so we're doing okay. We're about to step out for about an hour, and we're coming back to the house. We're going down to the drugstore and pick up our medication and stuff like that. So back over to Net Control. This is KB1 UPZ. Thank you, Graham.
Well, Uncle Bob, thank you so much, sir, for taking the time to stop by, and we're glad you managed to check in before you had to head off to the drugstore there. So, I'm glad also that the temperature. I know you had a pretty quite a severe kind of heat wave passing by, so I'm glad things are cooling down a little bit, more comfortable for you there. So that's really good. It can be very overwhelming. Of course, if I get into the kind of mid to even the mid 20s in centigrade values, that is, it's just wow. But you guys can experience an awful lot higher, and they kind of still they say it's comfortable, but I'm just not used to that kind of temperature. But anyway, Uncle Bob, glad things are more comfortable. Of course, give Auntie Barbara a wee Scottish squeeze from myself and Helen. That would be amazing. And yes, Helen is in the Royal Box and observing from there. She does have company. Her eldest, my stepson there, he's in as well. Just winding up the dog and everything else. The dog's been pulling his toys to bits, trying to show off in front of Stevie, saying, "Hey, look what I can do, Stevie! I can destroy this toy." and everything else. So yeah, I don't know what it is, Uncle Bob, but our 10-year-old big yellow Labrador, every time we've got a visitor in, it chooses a toy which it maybe hasn't touched for weeks or even months, and just totally destroys it, just showing off. I don't know. Anyway, there we go. KB1 UPZ, Uncle Bob, do you have anything else for us before you disappear off there from GM0 UUB?
KB1 UPZ return. It's funny that you mentioned about dog and the dog destroying something. We have a little dog here. It's I can't think of it. It's got a King Charles in it, and well, it's a mongrel dog. It's a real small dog, and something that hasn't touched. It happens to be the toy, one of the toys from the cat we have, and for some reason or other, it just grabbed it and started tearing it apart and stuff like that. And of course, the cat wasn't too happy. The cat grabbed it and took it back, even though it was all torn up. So it's funny that you mentioned that because our dog did the same thing. Back over to Net Control. This is KB1 UPZ. Thank you, Graham.
Thanks so much, Uncle Bob. Well, as you know, we do like our wee critter reports here, and yeah, they do make us smile, make us laugh. It's great to have critters in the home, that's for sure. As long as they're welcome ones. I know some people have unwelcome critters managing to crawl into their homes, and yeah, you just you don't want them. But no, thank you so much, Bob. You and Barbara have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, stay well. We'll keep in touch. And thanks again, we'll say 73 to KB1 UPZ. And with that, we're going to go, and I think this might be the first unicycle mobile check-in that we've ever had on the net. We do like things to be new and unique, and we're going to go and speak to Mike 7, Lima Golf Mike, who's unicycling, mobiling out there somewhere in Englandshire. So Thomas, welcome, sir. Happy Friday. And hopefully you've not fallen off. And yeah, are you actually going to be speaking while you're unicycling? Or just stepping off for a moment. I'm not too sure, but you can tell all. M7LGM from GM0 UUB. Thomas, welcome. The mic is yours.
LGM. Yeah, I've got a handheld, and yeah, got to a G7 RPG node. Yes, I am unicycling at the moment. Yeah, we just thought it would be cool to check in on a unicycle. I'm on a 20-inch unicycle. That's the size of the wheel. And yeah, just unicycling up and down the street. I've been on net before and said I could unicycle. And they thought it would be a good idea. Quite fun to check in unicycle mobile. So yeah, I'm just sort of unicycling up and down the street. Just on a 5-watt analog radio. Yeah, because I've got a G7 RPG node. Yeah, and we thought it would be fun to see.
Mike 7, Lima Golf Mike, unicycle mobile from Golf Mike 0, Uniform Bravo, Net Control. So, yep, you just kind of dropped out right towards the end there, Thomas. So I hope you're just not kind of unicycling too far from the node. Don't know how far down the street you're going, sir. But if you can just slip it into reverse and kind of pedal backwards and get closer to your G7 RPG node, which are fantastic nodes. No advertising here, but I do have two using one of them right now. Absolutely wonderful to get yourself onto All-Star. Anyway, Thomas, absolutely wonderful. I think, well, no, I'm not even just going to say I think. I know it's definitely the first a unicycle mobile check into the net, and we've been doing this net since January 2020. So that's not far off 4.5 years. And yeah, we definitely have not had a unicycle mobile check-in before. So that's a first, and I think that would definitely raise a challenge to all our regular checker-inners to, can you beat that? Can you do something and check in from something else, just a little bit different? But that's pretty unique, I have to say. So thank you, Thomas. Let me throw it back to you one more time. I hope you've come back and get a little bit closer to your node. You're going too far down the street, sir. M7LGM, Unicycle Mobile from GM0, UUB. Net Control, back to you, my friend.
Yeah, I'm just outside the house now, so I should be right near the node. Let me stop for a second. We just thought it'd be fun to check in via a unicycle. But someone mentioned it before on a different net. But that time I was checking in on a computer, which wouldn't work out very well. Since I've got the handheld, we thought it would be. I quickly put my shoes on and sat on the unicycle to check in, and then we thought it would be fun just to go up and down the street and say hello and everything. So back to you, M7LGM.
M7LGM. Thomas, well, thank you, sir, for actually doing that for us. That's absolutely amazing. And like I say, you've kind of like set the bar high for challenging people to see if you can check in on some other kind of mode. Not so much a mode, a condition. Your working conditions. So it's not just mobile, but unicycle mobile. Absolutely brilliant. So no, thank you. We've had plenty bicycle mobile check-ins. We often hear from our friend John down in VK Shire there, and he's a regular checker-inner on his bicycle, but definitely the first unicycle check-in. So well done, thank you. Maybe John can check in doing a wheelie and claim to be unicycle. I'm not too sure if that works, but anyway, Thomas, thank you so much, and we really do appreciate the effort there. So that's brilliant, and I know you've been unicycling for a long time, and is it just a kind of a kind of single hobby that you do as far as unicycle is concerned, just because you just go up and down the street and this and that, or is there any kind of sporting thing or demonstration thing or club that you're part of? Does the unicycling get you? I don't know. What else do you do with unicycling? Is it just the fact that you can do it, or like I say, is there anything else, any kind of sporting or club activity along with unicycling? I'm not too sure. I'll just pass it back to you one more time, and thanks again for doing it there, Thomas. M7LGM from GM0 UUB. Okay, I hope we haven't had a unicycle moment there. M7LGM, Thomas, are you still with us, sir?
They got me a really cheap £30 unicycle. Eventually the seat broke off, and then another time we got a better one, and sometimes a unicycle down the town or out and about. Back to you from M7LGM.
M7LGM. I think I kind of doubled with you and all the rest, but anyway, I asked you a wee question there. I don't know if you quite picked it up, and you might have even answered it, so I think there's a bit of confusion there. So I've just swapped nodes around, so there we go. Anyway, I can hear you now. So Thomas, the question was, and like I say, you might have already answered it, I just didn't pick it up myself. As far as unicycling is concerned, are you part of a unicycle club, or is it just something you just do for your own enjoyment? And yes, I'm just wondering if there's any kind of club activities or any other kind of display stuff or anything else. So there you go. Just been a little bit nosy there, Thomas. M7LGM from GM0 UUB. Back to you one more time if you don't mind.
M7LGM. There were some times even when I was outside the house that it was just cutting out a bit, so I couldn't hear you. But I'm back inside now. No, I'm not in any clubs or sports or anything. On I think Christmas 2019, They got me cheap £30 unicycle. Because we were sort of watching someone learn to unicycle, and count how many hours it took them to learn to do that. And also we were watching someone unicycle around the world on a 36-inch unicycle. So yeah, they got me a cheap £30 unicycle, Christmas 2019. But eventually the seat broke and the pedals all sort of weren't very good and sort of broke off and everything. And they got me a better unicycle. And yeah, sometimes I unicycle downtown or just round to the shops to get a pint of milk or something. Back to you from M7LGM.
Well, Thomas, I want to say thanks again, sir, for making the effort and actually doing that for us today. Like I say, I think that, well, I definitely know it's definitely the first unicycle mobile check-in. So thank you, Thomas. Really do appreciate that. Sounds a lot of fun. And I don't know, I think I'm maybe just getting a little bit too old to try and do that. I do like cycling. I go out on my e-bike. What am I now? 58, and I don't think I should be starting unicycling. I'm also quite tall. I'm 6'2.5", and always think my centre of gravity is quite high, and I've got a long way to fall. I don't think my balance probably wouldn't be too good on a unicycle. But having said that, I've never tried it. So after hearing you, maybe others out there might be out there going, hey, I'm going to try this and see if I can do what Thomas does. But no, thank you, Thomas, and it's definitely laid down a good challenge for any future kind of check-ins. If you can beat Unicycle Mobile for checking in, then they do try and they do that. That'd be fantastic. Thomas, you have a fantastic weekend. Stay safe and stay well. And thanks again for taking the time to stop by today. Really do appreciate that. And all the best to you. And we'll say 73 to M7LGM. And with that, let's go and see if Dave is still with us, all the way from Texas. And we do have, I think, oh no, maybe he's gone. I think he's given a wee 73s in the aim window there. He was on Discord, and I don't know which Discord he was on, but I think his link has dropped. But let's go and find out anyway, in case he's been re-established. Dave, are you there, sir? November 3, Delta Mike Charlie from GM0 UUB. Dave, if you're there, welcome, happy Friday, and the mic is all yours. Okay, nothing heard. Left a good long pause, because if you're coming through certain apps, it can be, several seconds delay. So wanted to make sure we could get hold of Dave. But anyway, we've got Dave as a brand new check-in. We'll have him in and out, and he's going to try and check in again next time. So Dave, great stuff. So we'll say 73 if you can hear us there. November 3, Delta Mike Charlie. And with that, we are at the bottom of the list. So we'll go for another round of check-ins. Folks, this is Golf Mike 0, Uniform Bravo. Is Graham here in Alloa, Central Scotland, your net control for the International Radio Networks, KB1 Multimode Net. It's Friday, it's the 28th, it's June, it's 2024. We're looking for some more check-ins. You know what to do, folks. It's your call sign. It's slowly, it's phonetically, and of course, it's twice. Please, call now.
At Control, please copy Kilo Bravo 3, Golf Papa X-Ray. Kilo Bravo 3, Golf Papa X-Ray. Mike, York, Pennsylvania, United States.
Mike 7 Papa Oscar Victor. Mike 7 Papa Oscar Victor. It's Josh in the southeast of the UK.
Net Control recognises just 2 stations this time. It might just be one of those Fridays. I think last week was kind of the same. We had 2 or 3 check-ins at a time, but it's still the same number at the end of the day, but there we go. Anyway, it's not the quantity at each time, it's the quality, and you can't get better than our friends, Josh and Mike. M7POV, Josh, we've got you on the list, sir. And up at the top of this very short list, we do have our friend Mike, all the way from Pennsylvania, also known as KB3GPX. Mike, welcome, sir. It was nice talking to you, I was going to say last night, according to my time zone, or yesterday. And Mike, how are you, sir? And happy Friday. And the microphone, my friend, it's all yours.
Well, thank you, Graham. GM0UUB in the net, KB3GPX, York, Pennsylvania. As always, Graham, many thanks for taking the net. Got that cozy command chair there this evening, and I think we had mentioned before, swivel option is not required, but recommended. There you go. 27 degrees centigrade here at 16:42 hours here on a Friday afternoon. Closing in on happy hour, high for those who are able to, and enjoying a early adult beverage here before I figure out what's for supper this evening. Good to hear everybody on the net. Also checking out the NetLogger there, and with all the links there to IRN.radio, also ExtendedFreedom.network. 2 excellent sources there to check out there. Thank you, Graham, for hosting that. And yes, also, Graham, thank you for stopping by the DMR nets on Brandmeister Network last evening. We still had to do the split net on the Maryland side of things. Those 2 systems are still not connected yet, but we had 2 net controls there, so that worked fairly well. Hopefully that will be resolved in the foreseeable future. There we go with that. Good to hear everyone. Just tuned in for the past 10 minutes. I was doing a little bit of lawn activity. We could use the rain over here. Very parched conditions. The grass is starting to look a little bit on the brown side. So I haven't heard of any drought conditions yet, but that certainly could be in the plans for possibly next month. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, that is all from here, and send it back to you, Graham, to continue onward. KB3 GPX.
KB3 GPX from GM0 UUB Net Control. Well, Mike, thank you so much for taking the time to stop by again this Friday. Really do appreciate that. And I wish there was a way in which we could send you over some of the water from the skies that we do get here in Scotland, because we get plenty. We get plenty. We didn't have too much today, I have to say. It's been reasonable. It's very windy. Right now at 21:45 UTC, 21:45 local. We're sitting at what does it say there? 13 degrees centigrade, I think it was. I thought it was higher. No? Oh well, there you go. Yeah, it's a little bit cooler, and that's actually okay. I don't mind whatsoever. But Mike, thanks for being there, and thanks for doing what you do. And those Pennsylvania nets, thank you for not minding that myself does kind of gate crash on a Wednesday and a Thursday. So I was listening on Wednesday as well. I forget, was it Tony who was doing net control? I forget who it was, but I was listening, but I was doing other things, and I was very tired at the time as well. Because, of course, they do happen to be after midnight here in the UK time. So, but no, it's lovely, and thanks for giving me a welcome when I do gate crash into Pennsylvania there after midnight UK time. Really do appreciate that. So anyway, thanks, Mike, and you take care. Have yourself a wonderful weekend. Stay safe and stay well, and no doubt we'll catch you again somewhere else, and we'll talk to you again soon. So all the best to 73 to KB3 GPX. And with that, we're going to come all the way back across this side of the pond, and oh, goodness me, there we go. And we've landed on the shores of Englandshire, and there we find our pal Josh. That's the young man out there in Aldington, and also known as Mike 7 Papa Oscar Victor, M7 POV from GM0 UUB. Josh, great to see you again there, sir. How are you? The mic, it's all yours.
GM0 UUV from M7 POV. Well, firstly, I think I'd like to announce that I am well due another fish and chips. As I think I said it last week, I found out that another certain person, to my beach with my bodyboard and played in my sea while I was at school doing tests and end of year exams and all that lot. And then, not only do I find out that they've done it then, I then find not only a wet pair of swimming shorts, I find a wet towel, I find all of that, I find a wet bodyboard out in the garden, all of those factors, and then I realise that they've gone to the beach once again. So I think I'm well due another fish and chips, that's one thing. But the weather, I can't really blame them. The weather's been really good recently. We've had 28 degrees, even some 29s. I think tomorrow's meant to be alright, just a bit cloudy after midday. Right now, I think it's about 9 degrees. I haven't really got much else to add on that there, Graham. Apart from I've just been doing exams. Oh, and I re-gripped my stick. Layer of chamois leather on that. Made it all nice again. Not much else there, Graham. Back to you, GM0 UUB from M7 POV.
Well, thank you, Josh. It's great to hear from you, sir. And wow, that's terrible news. They've done it all again and left the evidence just so blatantly around for people to find. Goodness me, and and your sea as well. I knew it was your beach and your bodyboard and your towel and everything else, but your sea as well. Goodness me, I don't know. You're gonna have to get some big fencing around all these different places that you have, and sell tickets or something. I'm not too sure. Josh, it's always great to hear from you, sir. And I'm glad you've got some good weather there. We can't complain too much. We're always very windy up here. And they have been for a long, long time, like weeks and months. We've got, quite often a kind of low pressure that just kind of sits just right to the kind of north of Scotland, just causes a right kind of wind to happen, and very changeable weather. So, but today's not been too bad. It's been very windy, but we've had a fair bit of sunshine. And I think a high of about 18 or 19 degrees centigrade. It's now down to 12 degrees centigrade. So there we go, but not too bad. We can't complain too much there, Josh, and no problem at all. So anyway, Josh, just a quick question. Are you still experimenting, doing some FT8 or anything else in HF? Because I know conditions haven't been great over the last wee while, so you maybe haven't been managing to get too many contacts, but are you still enjoying, whenever you can, get on some HF activity there? M7 POV, back to you, sir.
M7 POV returning. Yeah, I've been trying to get on as much as I can, but like I said, I've had exams and tests, so I've been up revising, and then after that I've been having to go straight to bed. I'm not too tired for them in the morning. But yeah, I have been trying to get on, but what we're trying to get, we're trying to build it up, and then eventually, hopefully, get it working really well, is the digital side of it. So yeah, all of that. So we've got it all, we've got a lot of it set up on the computer, but we need to actually get it all on there perfectly, then be able to do some more digital side of it, because I think that'll be quite enjoyable, and that will just add more to the experience. But back to you there, Graham.
Hello? Hello, George? Are you there?
well. I don't know where that came from, but anyway, Josh, thank you so much. And well, it just takes a wee while to, there's just so much we can do with this hobby, and whichever way whichever you decide to go and try, and you can have many different options. But especially on the digital side of things, it does take a little bit of setting up to do and making sure everything's connected the right way and all the settings, all the right buttons are pressed and everything. So good stuff. Anyway, I'm so glad you're enjoying it there, Josh. It's great to have you on board, and thanks once again for taking the time to stop by today. Really do appreciate that, hearing you on a Friday as well. So, okay, Josh, well, you have a wonderful weekend, and I think you've maybe still got a week to go in your school. I think each kind of local authority has different timings, but generally speaking, I think that the whole of Scotland now off in their summer holiday, and I do believe that much of England will still have another few days to go next week before they break up for the summer. So it's always a kind of week apart, but like I say, each individual local authority can do their own thing as well. It can get very confusing, it really is. Consult your local authority for any further advice. Anyway, Josh, take care, sir. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, stay well. Lock up your bodyboard and your towels, get them all locked into some kind of safe and everything else, and put a gate on your beach, and and of course, get your fish and chips. You're definitely due at least another fish supper, that's for sure. Take care, Josh, and we'll say 73 to M7POV. And with that does bring us down to the bottom of the list. This is Golf Mike 0, Uniform Bravo. Graham here in Alloa, Central Scotland. Looking for some more check-ins, please. When checking in, give me your call sign, slowly, phonetically, and twice. Please call now.
Victor Echo 6, Pablo.
Hello? Are you there?
Hello?
Kilo 5, Romeo Lima Romeo, K5, RLR.
Okay, Net Control recognises just another two stations there, but it's two great friends. That is, of course, Randall and Cliff, K5RLR. You're on the list. We've got Cliff out there mobiling once again. Victor Echo 6, Papa Lima Charlie, and that's our second mobile check-in on the list today. The first one was a Unicycle mobile. Cliff, we just had Thomas a little bit earlier checking in on his unicycle out in the street, and checking in on his handheld radio. So, Cliff, I don't know if you're unicycling, but you are mobile, and you're at the top of the list. So we'll go to you first. Victor Echo 6, Papa Lima Charlie. Welcome, Cliff. Happy Friday. And the mic, it's all yours.
Thank you, Graham. And good afternoon, good evening, good morning to everybody on the net from sunny Calgary. Yes, I am four-wheel mobiling in my car. So I've got 3 more wheels than Thomas had. Just finished a meeting with the net control operators for our club Sunday evening net. So we're going to try some enhancements and shake things up a little bit. And looking forward to the Canada Day contest starting Sunday evening my time for July 1st. And then next Friday is the Calgary Stampede Parade and the start of the Calgary Stampede. So I'll be busy next Friday morning doing the parade stuff starting around, I think I need to be down at the Indian Village about 6:30 in the morning, and then get them into the parade in the right spots, and all should be good. So that's what I've been up to, Graham. Back to you from the 6 PLC.
VE6 PLC from GM0 UUB. Well, thank you so much, Cliff, for taking the time to check in while you're out there mobiling and being a busy body and busy man. And well, thank you so much, Cliff. And and of course, I can't believe it's a year. I think I said that last week, but I remember the Stampede. You've spoken about that before, and maybe the year before that, and everything else. But I just can't believe it's been another year has passed since we're now speaking about the Stampede. And I know you've shared in the past some wonderful, wonderful pictures of that incredible event. So I'm looking forward to maybe seeing some more. And thank you for being out there and helping with all the kind of stewardship and getting things all coordinated right and everything else. So I know it's something you really enjoy. So, but yeah, if you manage to share some more pictures of the Stampede event this year, that would be absolutely fantastic. So it'd be great to see. But anyway, Cliff, we'll pass it back to you one more time. And how is Nuala and everybody else? And anything else before we move on? And take care out there mobiling, sir. VE6 PLC from GM0 UUB.
Yeah, it's been, I think, over 20 years since I've been helping with the Indians in the parade. The indigenous people got to be more politically correct these days. Yes, they've got a nice place, Elbow River Camp, they call it, right down by the river, a bit removed, where they set up teepees, and they have a stand there. They do shows and stuff, drumming and dancing and all that. It's quite a setup, very nice, and all part of the Calgary Stampede exhibition. And Noelle is doing fine. I imagine she'll be in our chair, warming it up for me, and I will probably join her once I get back home. Other than that, nothing terribly exciting. I'm looking forward to the upcoming events. So, back to you, Graham, from V6 PLC.
Oh, thanks so much, Cliff, for checking in today once again, and and thanks for all the information. So very much looking forward to hearing how it all goes next week. And like I say, any pictures or video or anything else, it's always good to see. It's fantastic, and another year. Goodness me. Anyway, Cliff, you take care, sir, and I'm sure Nuala will be looking forward to your return home and keeping your shared chair there nice and warm. And and they should be looking forward to you getting there. So give Nuala a wee Scottish squeeze, if you don't mind, sir, from myself and Helen. That would be amazing. Really do appreciate that. And you take care. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe and stay well. And Cliff, we're going to say 73 to you, Victor Echo 6, Papa Lima Charlie. And say hello to Randall, all the way from Spring, Texas. That is K5RLR. Randall, welcome, sir. Happy Friday. And the microphone, it's all yours.
Well, good evening there, Graham and Brother Scott, if you're out there listening, and everybody else on the net. K5, RLR. Well, not a whole lot going on here this afternoon, Graham. It's Friday. It's my off day, and just relaxing, doing a little bit of radio programming. Hopefully I can get it right this time, but, there's always next time. Plenty of time, regardless. Plenty of time. Other than that, just been getting my stuff ready for the upcoming week. I've got all my computer gizmos and gadgets set up so that I can finally work remote from home. As I mentioned to you on Messenger, Thursday was my last day, and that was very awesome. Other than that, just been hanging out. Hope you guys have a wonderful evening. We'll go ahead and throw it back to you. GM0 UUB from K5 RLR.
Very good, Randall. Well, thanks so much for checking in once again today. And thanks for the message the other day. We always knew it was going to be sometime around July, so there you go. So that's it. Yesterday was the last day in the office. I assume you are going to pop into the office from time to time just to kind of catch up or share some paperwork or whatever it might be, or is that just not even necessary? But no, I think the luxury of working from home, and of course since COVID has become a much bigger kind of thing that many people are doing and enjoying working more from home. And you obviously save some money from the traveling and everything else, but all the different flexibility you can do, and as long as your time management is good, that's that's the only thing. If you're working too much from home, sometimes I worked a fair bit when I was working. I did a fair bit of work from home, but I had to be quite disciplined about my time management, especially on a day when it might be nice and sunny, and and the bike is maybe sitting there, and I thought, I could maybe just go out for a wee cycle, and all of a sudden 2-3 hours pass, and you think, I should have done all that work. So yeah, you have to have good kind of personal time management skills there, but I think you'll be okay with that, Randall. But well, all the best, and do enjoy, and keep us up to date with how things are. But of course, we can't let you go there, Randall, without a wee critter report. How are the bunnies doing their zoomies and everything else, and your other critters? How are your critters there, sir, before you move on? K5RLR from GM0 UUB.
Oh, GM0 UUB. K5RLR returning. Well, yes, I will step into the office every once in a while just to keep my badge active. It's not necessary within reason because I can always have security reactivate it, but that's just a little bit of a hassle. So being that I only live about 5, maybe 8 minutes away, legitimately just down the street from the building, once a month or once every couple months to keep it active is not going to hurt me. But is it necessary? No, it's not. I did work when I was in my previous position. I did work from home for a good year or so during COVID, maybe a little more. But yes, I've had the experience, so I know I should do well. And the best part about it is it should be, well, it will be much quieter. Definitely much quieter space to work and to concentrate. And as far as the critters, they are doing well. The bunnies are out moving and jiving and zooming and jumping and all the above. And I'm actually over at my parents' house right now, and I just gave Claire a good Scottish squeeze for you. Hope you guys have a wonderful evening, Graham. You and Queen Helen, 73s to all. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. GM0 UUB from K5RLR.
Very good. Well, thank you so much, Randall. And hey, I didn't realize that your office was actually very close as well. So, so even the monthly into the office is only just not too far. So good stuff. Absolutely wonderful. Well, that's brilliant, Randall, and I know it's going to suit you much better. Quieter environment, concentrate, get things done, and get on with your own life at the same time. So good stuff. No, it's wonderful. So well done. I know you've had to work hard over the last few months just to achieve where you've got to this week. So congratulations on that, and do enjoy going forward, and look forward to hearing how it goes. And of course, when you do get back home, give the bunnies and the other critters a wee Scottish squeeze as well. And thanks for giving Claire the boxer a wee Scottish squeeze from myself and Helen while you're at your parents there. And just a reminder, do not go missing ever again. No. Okay, thank you so much, Randall. You take care. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll say 73 to K5RLR. With that, folks, we're once again at the bottom of the list, so let's go and see who else is out there. I know there's plenty of people listening, so let's see who wants to press the PTT, say hello, and just let us know what's happening. It's a RAG2net. There's no big question or anything else. We just want to know you're there, and of course, the only question is, do you have any critters? And we like to hear a wee critter update, that's for sure. So this is Golf Mike 0, Uniform Bravo is Graham here in Alloa, Central Scotland. Your net control for the IRN KB1 Multimode Net. We're looking for some more check-ins. You know what to do, folks. It's a call sign, it's slowly, it's phonetically, and of course, it's twice. Please call now.
Control, please recognize Kilo Charlie 7, Yankee Fox Echo. Kilo Charlie 7, Yankee Fox Echo. Dale out of Roseburg. Probably been missing the net because it's been moved around a little bit.
Net Control, please check in Kilo 6 Alpha Alpha November. Kilo 6 Alpha Alpha November. Mike in California.
Very good, gentlemen. You know, I feel a little bit like Noah right now. We're checking them in 2 by 2. Anyway, as long as people are checking in, we'll keep the net going, that's for sure. And Mike and Dale, thank you so much. We do have on the list Kilo 6 Alpha Alpha November, all the way from Valley Springs, California. Good to see you there, Mike. With you shortly. Let's go and speak to Dale, all the way from Roseburg, Oregon, also known as Kilo Charlie 7, Yankee Foxtrot Echo. Dale, my friend, great to hear from you, sir. And I think there have been some various changes and everything else, but glad you found your way, sir. It's always great to hear from you, Dale. How are you, and how's things on your side? KC7YFE from GM0 UUB. Happy Friday, Dale. The mic is yours.
Good afternoon there, Graham and the rest of the net, GM0 UUB, along with the ever lovely and popular MM7 HQS. Can't forget Helen. Oh, no. The Queen of Scotland. Hey, not doing too bad here. Just worked out some drum solos, and I think I've done enough with that. So I think I'm going to go ahead and, after a bit, maybe move it over to Audacity and see how that works out and all that. So that's about all I can do. So other than that, I'm not doing too bad. Just wanted to come in for a one and done real quick, and just wanted to come in and let everybody know I'm still here, give a wave out to everybody, and thank you all for being here. Doing back, everybody. I'm Zero UUB Net Control and the rest of the group. This is KC7YFE. Going to sign it back to you from clear, sunny Roseburg, Oregon.
Well, Dale, my friend, it's always great to hear from you, and great to hear you're enjoying sunny Roseburg, Oregon there. And obviously enjoying some time in the studio, doing some drum solos and everything else. So, Dale, glad to hear that you're continuing all the kind of music stuff and everything, and keep up the good work, sir. And I know you do a great job, and get a lot of enjoyment out of that as well. So I haven't picked up my guitar for a good 2 or 3 weeks, so I need to need to do something about that, Dale. So always a bit of an inspiration to hear yourself out there working away in the studio. So thanks for that, Dale. I'll maybe just pick up the guitar sometime over the weekend and make sure it still works. Hi. Anyway, we'll say thanks in 73 to KC7YFE. Dale, have yourself a wonderful weekend. Please, sir, stay safe and stay well. And we'll speak to you again very soon. And let's go and speak to Mike all the way from Valley Springs, California. That is Kilo 6 Alpha Alpha November. Mike, welcome once again, sir. Great to hear from you. How are you? And it's the microphone is all yours. Go ahead, sir.
Well, thanks very much, Graham, and good afternoon to everybody on the net. It's a hot day out here in Northern California, well up into the hundreds here, 102, 103, I believe. Spent the whole morning washing vehicles here at the house, got 3 of them done, just to get all the jobs done before the heat came on. So we're staying in the house with the air conditioning this afternoon because it's way hot out there. To answer the question of the day, yes, we do have critters. We own two small dogs. One's a cattle dog, the other's a Chihuahua, and they're older. One's 7 years old, the other's 10. So mostly they stay in the house and stay with us, and very good they are. It'd be awful quiet around here without them. So with that, we'll hand it back to you, sir. This is K6AAN.
Thanks so much, Mike. And yeah, absolutely. You know, it'd be kind of very, very quiet if we didn't have our dogs around, and or other people have various other critters that keep them keep them amused. And it's just wonderful having you know. Well, I'm a doggy person myself, I have to say. And we normally have 2 dogs, and one passed away just before Christmas there, so we're left with our 10-year-old golden Labrador Mac here. Who was a rescue dog and had a really bad past. I mean, really bad. So we've had him for many years now, and he still has issues, but he's a happy dog. His tail's always wagging, and he makes us laugh every single day. He's so vocal. He's so yeah. He's got us well trained there, Mike. He really does. So as soon as you wake up in the morning, you just whatever Mac tells you to do, you just have to go and do. So anyway, thank you. It's great to hear about your critters as well there, sir. So let me throw it back to you. Do you have anything else for the net, sir? Kilo 6, Alpha November from GM0, UUB. Back to you, my friend.
Well, thanks, Graham. Yeah, not too much else to report around here. You're absolutely correct about these dogs. They do have us all well trained, that's for sure. We think we take them to training, but they're training us every day. These dogs have got me trained up to get up at about 0500 hours every day to feed them. I think they got to eat first thing in the morning. That's unbelievable. Anyway, everyone have a great weekend out there. Try and stay cool if you're somewhere hot. This is K6AAN. Back to you.
Well, thanks again, Mike. Great to speak to you once again. Thanks for coming back to the net, and always good to see when new checker-inners come back. It's always great. So you take care, my friend, and thanks for sharing. Take care, and to your critters, give them a wee Scottish squeeze from myself and Helen, my wife, MM7HQS, and that'd be quite amazing. So, Mike, take care, sir. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Stay well. We'll say 73 to K6 Alpha November. That does bring us down once again to the bottom of the list. And like I say, I feel a little bit like Noah. We're checking in 2 by 2 today. Honestly, folks, more than 2 at a time can check in. So if you want to check in, you know what to do, folks. It's your call sign. It's slowly, phonetically, and please make it twice. Go ahead.
Golf 7, Oscar, Charlie Kilo. Golf 7, Oscar, Charlie Kilo. Brian in the land of the Prince Bishops. Yeah, wordy, right?
Okay, Net Control recognises a little bit of a clash in the check-in corridor there, but going by the voices I do have, at the top of the list, KI7PKL, that's Rock and Roy, all the way from Portland, Oregon, and also Brian in Crook in Englandshire, G7OCK. So guys, pick yourselves up. You had a little bit of a kind of clash in the check-in corridor. Hope you're both well. And we did have somebody else there. The audio is very low. So let me go and see. Was there anyone else apart from those two young chappies there trying to check in this particular round? If so, please come again with your call sign, slowly, phonetically, and twice. Go ahead.
Uniform Alpha. Please, those and self. Go ahead.
Okay, I heard the Uniform Alpha, I think it was. Was it the Victor Echo 3 station? Could you come back again, sir? And again, just make it phonetically and twice, and we'll try and get you on the log, sir. Your audio's kind of coming and going, so please try again. Go ahead, sir.
Sorry, Graham. I am very sorry. Victor Echo 3. Oscar Uniform Alpha. Victor Echo 3. Oscar Uniform Alpha. Greetings from Siberia. Exactly. Go ahead, sir.
Very good, Rudy. We do have you on the list, sir. And I should have remembered the call sign. You was something kind of close. Victor Echo 3, Oscar, Uniform Alpha. Rudy, my friend, we've got you on the list. No problem at all. Okay, well, let's go to the top of the list. And there we have our friend Rockin' Roy, all the way from Portland, Oregon. KI7PKL. Welcome, Roy. How are you, sir? And happy Friday once again. I love a Friday. I can speak to Roy at least twice. Roy, the mic is yours.
Well, good evening, Graham, and everyone on the net. Good evening to you, Helen, Queen of Scotland. And, I'm just sitting here on a really, really beautiful Friday afternoon. Oh, man, it's 78 degrees Fahrenheit. The sun is shining. Yeah, it really couldn't get much better than it is right now. Seriously. What a nice day. And, hey, it was kind of cool hearing Thomas out on the unicycle a little bit earlier. Man, every time I see somebody do that, I'm just blown away at the skill that it must take to do that and not seriously get hurt. Yeah, I'm always blown away when I see somebody do that. We actually have a guy here in this part of Portland who has an unicycle, and this thing is, it's one of those powerful lithium-ion batteries that blow up and burn your house, those guys. And he rides that thing around standing up a lot of times. To me it's just crazy, but he looks like he's totally in control. He's out there, it's an unicycle, so he's out there in traffic. Yes, it goes fast. I watch stuff like that just with total amazement. I pause. And hey, we went out and played our third gig of the season last Saturday, and we had some fun. It really was fun. We played the Tacos and Tequila Festival. And man, I had some of the best tacos I have ever had. I think at some food cart there, and not one of the really big festivals, but big enough to be a decent festival. So a little bit more informal than some of the bigger ones, and just generally a good time. Yeah, sampled a few adult beverages and so forth too. Yeah, they give you these tokens, and you go around and you get food. Food and whatnot. So anyway, it was a pretty darn good time, and it was just great to be out with my friends playing a gig. Seriously, yeah, worth the drive up to Longview, Washington, which is a good hour away from here. All right, back to you, my friend. This is KI7PKL.
KI7PKL from GM0UUB. Well, Roy, absolutely wonderful to hear your voice and checking in today and sharing with us all the excitement of having a beautiful, beautiful day. Can't get any better. You're out there just enjoying the sunshine and the good weather, not too hot, everything else, and absolutely brilliant. And then, of course, you have to put the icing on the cake and remind us of doing the gig last week and at the Taco Festival and enjoying some good tacos. It just sounds like you're just enjoying such an amazing life there, Roy. Tacos, festival, music, out there playing with the boys in the band and doing the singing and the bass playing and whatever else you do in the band. And oh, goodness me. It just sounds so fantastic, and I've not enjoyed going out and doing any kind of gigging since before COVID. So I was just saying to Dale there, it's been even several weeks since he even picked up the guitar. So maybe that's something I need to do this weekend. But no, it sounds absolutely amazing. I'm so glad the gig went well. I presume I presume the gig went well. You never actually said. You did say you did enjoy the tacos, but I presume the gig and the went well itself, and it just sounds absolutely amazing. So yeah, tell us about the gig, sir. And did you enjoy doing? I think you said there was 2 or 3 songs that you were going to be the main singer for, etc., etc. Was it all well received? Did you get out there and they do it all right, or did you forget some chords and notes and everything else and make a few bum notes? I'm not too sure, but go and tell us there, Roy. KI7PKL from GM0UUB.
My nose had you remind me what my call sign was. Anyway, we all make mistakes, and these things happen. It's just part of live music, and take for example Deep Purple, Made in Japan. The guitar player messed up when he started the riff, and now other people get up on stage and play it just like that. So just is what it is. But people out in the crowd don't notice your mistakes near as much as you do, and just how that one works. You just smile and pretends like you meant to do it like that. So anyway, we definitely had some fun getting up there playing, and let's see, I sang LaGrange, how, that one. And I sang Dead Flowers, and I might have sung something else. I can't remember now. But and we just did a lot of did a lot of playing, a lot of jamming, and a lot of guitar solos. You're down there just playing your riff over and over and over and over while the guitar is just going. Just how it goes. Back to you, KI7PKL.
Oh, that sounds amazing, Roy. And you kind of reminded me, when people are enjoying themselves, they don't really recognize exactly what you're doing. When I'm in the audience, wherever I am, whether it's an actual concert or you're there somewhere wherever there's a band playing, I'm always watching who's doing what. But generally speaking, most people don't. And I do remember when I was many years ago with a friend of mine, Robin Todd, who passed away a long time ago, and he was a pretty decent guitarist, and we used to go out, and I was on the keyboard at the time, so I'd be playing the keyboard, he'd be playing the guitar, we'd share the singing. I would do kind of the main stuff. He was a great kind of for the harmonies and everything else. He was a great harmony singer, so it worked out quite well. But we did make use of some backing as well. But we were playing live, but we did have some backing. And at one of the breaks that we had in one gig, I do remember somebody going up to Robin and saying, Robin, he says, what's your name? And he says, Robin. He says, well, Robin, I have to say, that's the best saxophone I've ever heard in my life. It's just, there's no saxophone on stage. There's a guitar and there's keyboards. There you go. So anyway, there you go. As long as people are enjoying themselves, Rock and Roy, that's the main thing. And also, just to follow up on the conversation from last week, if you don't mind, because we did put out a little bit of an advert, which you kind of spoiled towards the end. But anyway, we were speaking about, the need of having a girlfriend who's good with camera to take some videos when you're out there playing gigs. And so I did remind people out there, all the listeners, that your email is good on QRZ. So I don't know, did you have any takers, sir? I'm not too sure. I think you kind of spoiled it towards the end, like they cost too much. But anyway, something along those lines. KI7PKL, do let us know if there's any takers on your email over the last 7 days from GM0 UUB.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I shot myself there in the foot right there at the end when I said girlfriends are expensive. And yeah, they were all poised, to send me an email or a text or just jump in there or something, and they all just no, moving on. So nope, didn't get any videos because I didn't have anybody to take them. So anyway, that's okay though. It just makes life a little bit more of a mystery. Although when I do have things like that, there have been short clips of few songs over the years, and to have those is just very, very special. Yeah, especially just bringing back memories of people you played with and places you played and how you played something, another time in your life. That's pretty cool stuff. All right, well, hey, thanks for taking my check-in. Great time, and we will talk to you down the log. GM0UUB and the net. This is KI7PKL.
Well, thank you so much, Roy. It's always great to speak to you, sir. It really, really is. And I'm sure there were dozens poised just to press the send button last week, and then you mentioned that comment, and goodness, there we go. But no, you're absolutely right. It's great. It's so precious to have memories, and it's great to have the memories jogged as the years go on by some, even just a short clip or anything else. Photographs are great, but I often find, especially when it comes to the music you're playing, if anyone's even just got a short clip of something you've done, it just reminds you of a fantastic time and the sound that goes with it. So it's always great. So good stuff. Yeah, keep the memories, that's for sure. Anyway, Roy, you have yourself a wonderful weekend. Enjoy that weather. I know you are. And stay safe and stay well. And we look forward to speaking to you again soon. And of course, folks, if you want to speak to Roy on the Alaska Morning Net, he's the voice of Friday on the Alaska Morning Net. So we go and check it out there. That's for sure. All the best, Roy. Take care, sir. Stay safe. Stay well. And we'll no doubt speak to you again very soon. So we'll say 73 to KI7PKL. And come all the way back across this way. And there we are. Yep, we're on the land of Englandshire once again. And there we find our friend Brian. And he's in the land of the Crooks in England. And he's also known as G7OCK. Brian, welcome, sir. Happy Friday. And how are you? The microphone, it's all yours.
Graham, happy Friday to yourself and the good lady and everybody else that's listening, wherever they are in the world. And no doubt we'll be having a few conversations coming in from here, there, and everywhere, as usual. I'm fine, Graham. I'm fine. Just resting up a little bit, ready for tomorrow. Out all day tomorrow on a Raynet exercise. So, got to get me rest before we go out and play radio and have fun. From Golf 7, Oscar Charlie Kilo.
Very good, Brian. And yeah, thanks for the reminder that you do Raynet there. I looked into Raynet many years ago. I'm talking back in the 90s, and when I was staying here in Alloa, and our closest RayNet group was actually based in Fife. I think there is now one based in Stirling, not too sure, but it was based in Fife at the time. And I looked into trying to get involved with them and everything else. But just the way it worked out, I was working shifts at the time, so they had kind of regular meetings doing this and that and all the rest, and it just never worked out that I could do anything on a kind of regular basis. So, but I was always interested in being part of RayNet. But like I say, that was back in the 90s. I never had a look into it since. So anyway, I know they're doing a lot of work and lots of contingency planning for setting up emergency communications and everything else in various areas. I know there's stuff going on across this kind of neck of the woods as well. I've kind of read over the last few months. So lots of things happening. So good stuff. So anyway, Brian, what are you up to this weekend? What RayNet activity are you doing? Is it a practice thing, or is it an actual event you're attending? I'm not too sure. So Brian, go and share. G7OCK from GM0UUB.
Yeah, Roger Graham. Well, it's a local event that's on. Actually, it's a long distance walking association that we're doing the event for. We're doing the safety coverage from that. So got to go up onto a nice big high hilltop and set the relay station up so that we can get comms from one valley over the top and down into the other valley and right round. So sitting up there minding a radio all day until, well, probably late afternoon when the walkers actually come past where I'll be located. But I've got to be there quite early to set the station up. So it's going to be a long one, and not a lot to do in the meantime other than sit and nurse the radio. And once it's all plugged in and set up, there's not a lot to do at all until we actually get some walkers past the checkpoint that I'll be manning at. So it gives us a day out playing radio. Can't put it any other way. From Golf 7, Oscar Charlie Kilo.
Very good, Brian. Well, any excuse will do. That's for sure. We all love radio. That's it. Good stuff. Also, it's good practice. If you had in your area had to go and for any kind of emergency comms or anything, you had to go and set up. It's always good practice to make sure the equipment's working, the setup's right, to get it all done. And it's always good practice. That's for sure. I know I was kind of earwigging on the people who were looking after the event here just a few weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago, the half marathon here in Alloa, and it's well attended. It's a big kind of half marathon. Quite a lot of people turn up, and I think the organisers and those that were kind of doing all the checkpoints and everything else were using the PMR 446 radios. So not obviously RayNet or anything else. And I was thinking to myself, wouldn't it be good if the local RayNet actually stepped up the podium and they filled that space? It was good practice for them, setting up stations, relay stations, this and that, and all the rest. But anyway, it was that's what happened there. So good stuff. Anyway, Brian, thanks for that. One quick question as well. How's your weather looking? Is it going to be a kind of dry day? Are you going to be sitting out there in the rain? Hopefully the weather forecast is kind of good. Anything else for us there? G7OCK. I'll throw it back to you, Brian, one more time, if you don't mind, sir.
Yeah, Roger Graham. Well, earlier in the week it was forecast for a little bit of the liquid sunshine coming down, but I've just had a look there the last hour or so, and it looks like it could be quite reasonable. So we shall have fun. I've got that big mast in the back of the car that we had when the last time I saw you, actually, when we were up at the agricultural show. So that's in the back of the car to go on 2-meter antenna on the top, or dual band antenna on the top, and run the cable down. So it'll be an interesting day. So hopefully there's not going to be a great deal of wind. Not that it'll make much difference with that thing. So, right, I shall let you get on with the net. Enjoy yourselves, and I shall speak to you later. From Golf 7, Oscar Charlie Kilo.
Thank you so much, Brian, the keeper of the mast. Yes, that was fantastic. Never seen that kind of mast before in real life, so it was great to see that last year. And of course, when that was put up in Allendale last year, that was a very windy day as well. And I do remember, kind of winding it up, and I'm thinking, well, how are you going to go? And then, of course, we had Bruce popping in and saying, all the way, just put it all the way up. I'm thinking, look at the wind. And that thing coped admirably. I mean, everything else didn't. I think the tents and gazebos were disappearing and heading off to the horizon, left, right, and centre. But that mast, they stood there with the antenna on top, absolutely solid all day. So it was brilliant. So, yeah, I don't think you have to worry too much about the wind when you're using that particular mast. But anyway, Brian, I'm going to say, do you remember that? But I'm sure you do. But everything else kind of disappeared, tents and gazebos flying all over the field. But that mast stood kind of very tall and very proud at the full extension. G70CK, anything else for us, especially about that mast from GM0 UUB?
Yeah, Roger Graham, no, it's a very good solid mast actually once it's up. And once it gets guide down, it doesn't go very far at all. It just stays there. And nice and simple. So you put it up, assemble it, put it on the tripod, and then start pumping, releasing the catches and letting it go up there. Once it's up, it stays up to rule. It's been through some bits and pieces of reasonably bad weather and getting away with it. So, yeah, keeper of the mast, definitely. I like that idea. I just wish the vehicle was about 6 inches longer, then I wouldn't have to move all the seats about to get in. But that's another thing. We'll just have to see about getting a bigger vehicle, I think, next time. Right, I'll put it back to you, Graham, and you can continue with your net. From Golf 7, Oscar Charlie Kilo.
Very good, Brian. Well, thank you so much, Brian, and have a wonderful day tomorrow. And glad the forecast is looking kind of okay. So yeah, you don't have to be too worried about rain and stuff. So good stuff. Well, do enjoy, and I hope it goes well, and I'm sure it will. And all the tech stuff will work fine, and good stuff. So do enjoy, and you can tell us all about that later on. But thanks, Brian, for taking the time to stop by today. Really do appreciate that, and have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, stay well, enjoy the event, and we'll say 73 to G70CK. And let me tell you, I do have a wee check-in from the AIM window there. So you've got Chuck all the way from Florida, WB4, Alpha India Zulu. Chuck, you're on the list, sir. But right now, we're going to go and see if we can find Victor Echo 3, Oscar Uniform Alpha, PE3 OUA. Welcome, happy Friday, and the microphone, it's all yours.
Thank you very much. I was okay. I like what Rocket Boy said about the people from Japan. Oh, I love that video. That stuff. It's good stuff. Man, oh man. I was there with that guy listening to his guitar playing, or listening to your guitar playing. Well, I used to play the drums, but after I suffered from MS, that left me. A lot of things left me. Thank you, Graham. Thank you very much for letting me check in. Be blessed and give my best to Queen Helen, would you please? And tell her that her so I call myself. Or whatever you want to call me. Is a first service. Anytime. Go ahead, sir.
Well, thank you so much, sir, and thanks for your kind words. And Helen, Queen of Scotland, is waving a hand back at you across there. So thank you so much. And yeah, your audio once again is just a little bit up and down, and we're kind of struggling to hear everything, but mainly copied, so no problem at all. But anyway, my friend, thank you once again for taking the time to stop by this week. Really do appreciate that. Always a pleasure. And you have yourself a wonderful weekend. Stay safe and stay well. And we look forward to speaking to you again very soon. So we'll say 73 to our friend Victor Echo 3, Oscar Uniform Alpha. And with that, let's go and see what's happening with Chuck. He's checked in the AIM window there, so we assume he can hear us and we can hear him. WB4 Alpha India Zulu from GM0 UUB. Welcome, sir. Happy Friday. And the microphone, it's all yours.
Oh, thank you, sir. WB4AIZ. And I don't know why I haven't been come over to here before, but yeah, well, it's just anything that comes along. I added a new repeater up in Canada to my list today, and ride to type of net. So anyway, my favorites list is huge. So anyways, my favorite joke about Echolink is I'm going for my work ball Echolink. that's a yoke fun. So anyways, not a whole lot to report. We've had some rain today, but it looks like it's out of the area now, heading towards east coast of Florida. So anyways, we did get some rain. Nothing really severe, thunderstorms. But anyways, y'all take care of WB4AIC.
WB4AIZ from GM0 UUB Graham Net Control. Well, Chuck, it's great to hear from you once again, sir, and I think you have checked into this net before. If not, you've checked into one of our International Radio Network nets. I've got you on NetLogger as red, which means you've checked in before, but I think you have checked into this net. But anyway, just in case we didn't ask you when you first checked in, this night we don't have any big kind of technical questions or anything else like that, Chuck. But something that many of us that do check in on a Friday do enjoy is the experience of having critters in our homes, critters in our lives. So it could be anything, maybe an alpaca or a goat or a pot-bellied pig or even a cat or a dog or a goldfish. So anyway, Chuck, I maybe asked you the question before. But anyway, I'm going to ask you it again. Chuck, do you have any critters in your house that you want to share and let us know about? We do like to talk about our pets, sir. So WB4AIZ from GM0 UUB. Back to you, sir.
Well, this is WB4AIZ. Well, I wouldn't call them pets, but I'm in an assisted living facility, secure. We have an interior area, courtyard type of thing, and walkways and stuff. And if you, we should actually walk up what they call a lake, and lakeside. I've been out there once in a couple of years. It's not the most conducive to the concrete is not the best shape or whatever. So we have some resident sea cats that we're not supposed to feed, but they just hang around. They're not really friendly, you know. They don't come up to us, but they are around. So I don't know how many cats there are. Half a dozen, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, that's our critters. So I'm sure they take care of the other critters. So I'll turn back over. Yeah, I'm gonna take a nap after supper. WB4IZ.
Very good, Chuck. Well, no, thanks for sharing, and yeah, no doubt those critters do take care of some other critters, that's for sure. Thanks, Chuck. No, it's great to hear from you, sir. It really is. And well, enjoy your nap after supper, and yeah, and good luck with the work call Echolink. I think that's a great concept. Never heard that before. So, Chuck, you might have introduced a new idea. So worked all Echolink. I don't know what all Echolink is, but no doubt somebody might come up with some kind of definition and maybe a wee kind of certificate for achieving it. We'll just have to wait and see. Great stuff. Chuck, you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, sir. Stay safe, stay well. Enjoy your post-supper nap and everything else. And yeah, it's great to hear from you, sir. It really is. So thank you once again. And we'll say 73 to our friend Chuck out there in Florida, WB4AIZ. And with that, we are at the bottom of the list, or I should say WB4AIZ. So we're trying to keep things across the pond and across the pond language. So Z and Z and tomato and tomato, well, we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, this is GM0 UUB, is Graham here in Alva, Central Scotland. Your net control for the IRN KB1 Multimode Net. We're looking for some more check-ins. You know what to do, folks. If you want to check in, please give me a call sign. Slowly, phonetically, and twice. Please call now.
Kilo India 5 Sierra Sierra Romeo KI 5 SSR Jeanette in Grapevine.
Net Control recognizes KI5SSR as a Texas kisser, all the way from Grapevine, Texas. Jeanette, it's always great to see you there, my friend. And yeah, you know, it's last week and this week has been the same. The check-ins, there's plenty. There's been no cricket so far. We have been here for nearly 2 hours, but it's like 2 or 3 at a time. It's kind of different. I'm not too sure what's happened over the last couple of weeks. But anyway, that's absolutely fine. It stops people having to wait a long time for their chance on the mic. So, Jeanette, welcome, my friend. Happy Friday. And how are you? What's going on? Tell us all. KI5SSR from GM0 UUB.
Hey, Graham. KM0 UUB KI5 SSR, and I know last week was oh Lord, there goes the brain. Field day. So a lot of people got busy with field day last week, and I know They were started on Friday. Also, I do think that this is summer and a lot of people start doing stuff outside. So, but like you said earlier, it's quality over quantity. Let's keep remembering that because that's how I look at it. I would rather have quality than quantity. So hang in there. I think you're doing a great job. And how are you and Helen doing? MM7HQS, and tell us what's going on with y'all.
Well, thank you, Jeanette. The Texas kisser out there. No, you're absolutely right. Definitely quality. Absolutely wonderful. And every week I say it. It's just such an amazing thing to do the net. You yourself recognise that as well, Jeanette, is doing net control duties. And, you're speaking to people week after week for sometimes many years. And you really get to know people. And it's such a privilege that people come back and keep in touch and we just share things, and yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. So I just find doing the net is a real privilege and a pleasure, and look forward to it, and enjoy it every single week, no matter what the numbers are. That's for sure. And well, Jeanette, thanks for asking. And myself and Helen, we've been doing okay. We had a wee trip up to Inverness yesterday, so that gives me a wee chance to share a wee story. Myself and Helen, we went up. It's 150 miles north to where I was born, up in Inverness, the capital of the Highlands. And we just went up to visit my mum for the day and came back down yesterday evening. And a really nice day. She always has some chores for us to do, and this and that and all the rest, but it was really nice. Anyway, when we go back home, I always give my mum a wee phone to say we're back home, nice and safe and everything else. And I phoned, and she never answered, and I'm thinking, okay, fine. And about 20 or 30 minutes later, she phoned me back, and I'll just take a wee pip. GM0 UUB net control continuing. And so my mum phoned me back, and she says, oh, you see you're home, nice and safe? I says, yeah, but I could tell by your voice that something wasn't quite right. And I says, yeah, I tried phoning you. And she says, no, the phone wasn't working because the electricity was off. And I'm going, oh, right, okay, why is the electricity off? And she says, well, I had a wee bit of an issue. And she says, I know, I was really silly and everything else. So she went on to tell me that she's got this electric fire in the living room with the kind of real flame effect and everything else. But anyway, at the bottom there's some holes, probably some vents at the bottom, and she thought there was maybe some paper or some fluff or anything, I don't know. Anyway, she was trying to remove whatever was there, and she didn't manage to do it with her fingers, so she went through the kitchen, got herself a metal knife, and came through and went on to prod it into the hole and to try and remove what she thought needed to be removed. Of course, it was still plugged in and working, so she got herself a bit of an electric shock, which thankfully everything kind of went black in the house, and so yesterday evening was like, all went dark and everything else, and so that I don't know. Oh, goodness me. Anyway, she went through to a neighbour, he came through, got everything back up and running, everything else, so but she did give herself a little bit of an electric shock. But no, she's absolutely fine, and my mum turns 90 this year, and goodness knows how she manages to get that far. But anyway, she's absolutely fantastic, very independent, does her own thing. But trying to tell her, do not stick metal knives into any kind of electrical equipment that's actually turned on. So there we go. That's our story. KI5SSR from GM0 UUB.
Well, Graham, KI5SSR, so glad your mom is okay. That's the most important thing. And, well, she made a boo-boo, and she found out what happens if you don't make sure stuff is unplugged, So I'm just glad she's okay, and lesson learned, But I was looking at your net logger, and I see all these wonderful people you have, and I'll say you have some quality people out there. I see Declan, Dave, VE6DCV, hello, and I see Thomas out there, and oh my God, Joshua, K7POV, and Dale, and Roger, Roy, and oh, you just have a wonderful, and Chuck, you have got a great list going on. So those are quality people, all of them. So yeah, I wouldn't worry too much. But yeah, and I do have a net at 6 Central, 7 Eastern coming on called the 11 Cats Happy Hour. And we have a couple rounds. The second round is a host with a question, and it's going to be funny tonight. So come and check us out on 11cats.org or on Echolink. It's 11 Cats, and I have 11 Cats too. You can check out our website. We have a lot more nets. We have the TNT net tomorrow night, and Sunday we have a couple nets. The AFC is also one of our nets, and all of that's on our website. So check it out. And let me reset. KI5 SSR returning, and then of course, Graham is the net logger for the XYL Ladies Net, which is on every Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern on Rora channel. That's Republic of Avalon Radio, and that's on Zello, which they're a great group of ladies there, I tell you. I love them all, every one of them. It's also on TeamSpeak 3. More information can be found on the IRN network. And the cool thing is that licensed or unlicensed operators are welcome, so you can get your wife or girlfriend interested in it, and it's a great way to start. For more information, you can send Lillian, who is the net host, an email at xylnetwork@gmail.com. And also, Graham here will tell you more about it. So back to GM0 UUB from KI5 SSR.
Well, Jeanette, thank you so much, and once again, thanks for all you do for the amateur radio community. Absolutely amazing, and just direct people once again. Lots of information, Jeanette, just share with us, but it's all on the website. That is, of course, all the W's.11cats.org, 11 being 11, so it's 11cats.org. And Jeanette, once again, thank you for sharing information about this particular net, the KB1 Multimode Net. Really do appreciate that, and thanks for supporting that so much. I really do appreciate that. And yes, well, as Jeanette was saying, the XYL net run by Lillian, VO1 XYL, every Saturday, and that starts at 1800 UTC, I believe it is. And on a Saturday, and it's on, as I said before, the International Radio Network. We have two main platforms. One is this one, the multimode platform, with our analog and digital connections and the apps and everything else that all connect in. And we also have another one based on the Zello and TeamSpeak connections, and we have them cross-linked, but there's no cross-links to RF whatsoever. So we do have many hundreds of members on the International Radio Network who are non-licensed, and we do invite them to participate in various nets and things that are carried on the system throughout the week to help them introduce them to the amateur radio and the etiquette and everything else. And it's absolutely wonderful, and many do get inspired to get their own licenses as well. And that's where, of course, the XYL net will be found tomorrow. So, on IRN.radio, you can see where the connections are to our non-RF linked system. So there we go. So thanks, Jeanette. It's always good to be able to explain that to people from time to time. And anyway, Jeanette, what else have you got, and what are you up to this weekend? I hope your weather's looking good and everything else. And anything exciting over the weekend? KI5 SSR from GM0 UUB.
Well, thank you, GM0UUBKI5SSR, and it is 100 here, so it's pretty hard to be out there. I was out there at 7:30 in the morning. Yeah, I got my walk in. I try to get out there early. I need to get out there even earlier, and yeah, it gets hot really fast, and I walk 5.5 miles. I think almost, well, not Monday, but every day besides Monday, I have walked 5.5 miles. And yeah, I will be doing the Alaska Morning Net tomorrow on Fireside. And there was a few little parts, DDI, Dewdrop in, parted with one of their admins, and so that probably has a little bit to do with some of the changes. And things will get back to normal, and I'm going to tell you, there's going to be a lot more people coming in. I really believe that, and he's really doing good stuff. So I do believe this network will grow, and I think we're going to get some really great people, and maybe less complaining and more happiness. That thrills me, so I'm looking forward to that. And so just hang in there, and yeah, so hook up through Fireside. He's hooking up to a lot of great nets now. So anyway, I think he will be carrying my 11 Cats Happy Hour as well this evening. So stick around for that. And thank you. I want to tell you, thank you, Graham, for all that you do for ham radio. You are such a big help and a big heart to you and Helen. And you reach out, and you guys have really helped me. And I remember the first time I ever talked to Helen and you. We go back, and I promise you, it's going to get better. We're just going through a slow time. So hang in there with us, and wishing you and everybody out here a great day. And we'll see you at the 11 Cats Happy Hour or on the Alaska Morning Net tomorrow at 1 Eastern Time on Fireside.
Very good, Jeanette. Well, thank you so much for the information. And yes, we are kind of understanding there are various changes and everything else to network connectivity and whatever else. But I just did a quick check on the All-Star bubble chart there that's connected to the net right now, and I have to say it's quite immense. There's lots of people out there. We know you're there, and well, thank you. So I've said it before, but thanks to everybody that connects up networks and gateways, nodes and repeaters and everything else. It just wouldn't be the same without all the connectivity. And as you say, Jeanette, looking forward, let's just hope that we keep on connecting, make even bigger connections and everything else. And but it's not about the number of connections, the number of check-ins, it's the quality. But I know there's a lot of quality out there, and it's just absolutely wonderful to hear all the participation, and not just this net, but all the other nets I participate in and listen to and everything else. So it's absolutely wonderful. It's a great place to be in amateur radio, that's for sure. And of course, Jeanette, you will be net control operator for the we had the Voice of Friday check-in earlier, KI7PKL. So you'll be on Alaska Morning Net tomorrow. Just to confirm that, back to you, KI5 SSR GM0 UUB.
KI5SSR, yes, I will be net host tomorrow for the Alaska Morning Net. And just to let you know, I looked at that bubble chart from at the very beginning, and it was like, wow. So sometimes people get busy, and they'll come around, and like we said, quality over quantity. And Mike, KB3GPX, you are welcome, and thank you for being here as well. And I'll let you get on and come check all of us out. And thank you for doing this wonderful net. I look forward to this net every week, Graham, and wish you and Helen all the best. And every wonderful station out here, have a great day and evening. And please watch your pets out in the heat. I got to say, give your pets water. I think a lot of people don't understand that if your dog's out there panting, it needs water because the heat will kill your animal fast. So just a FYI, watch your animals and watch yourself hydrate. KI5 SSR, we're clear.
Well, once again, thank you so much, Jeanette, for all you do, and as well as the wee reminder there about watch your critters. We love to talk about our critters here. We love our critters, and we need to look after them, especially when there's quite a lot of heat going around. And check out when they're walking, and the pads. Their pads are connected to the tarmac and everything else, so the pavements, the sidewalks, whatever it might be. Just put your hand down and have a wee feel, and just see how hot that might be. Just be mindful of the safety and the comfort of our critters. We love our critters; they love us, and let's do best for them. So good stuff. Jeanette, thank you so much. You take care, my friend. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and I will try. I know I say that, but I will try. On a Saturday evening, we're usually doing something different, but I'll try and check into the Alaska Morning Net on a Saturday and catch up with you tomorrow. Of course, once we do get back home, I'm firing up NetLogger for Lillian's Nets. Well, I'll try and maybe multitask some week and check into the Alaska Morning Net on a Saturday as well there, Jeanette. Anyway, take care, my friend. Thank you so much for all you do, and thanks for all your positivity and good advice there. We'll say 73 to KI5SSR. And with that does bring us down to the bottom of the list. So once again, folks, this is Golf Mike 0. Uniform Bravo is Graham here in Alloa, Central Scotland. Net control for the IRN KB1 Multimode Net. We're looking for some more check-ins. We know there's plenty connections out there. Doesn't mean they're all being listened to, but there's plenty of people out there. If you fancy checking in, you know what to do. Press the PTT, give me a call sign slowly, phonetically, and twice. Please call now.
Straight Q, VK3, Straight Q, push 5 mobile, in and out. What happened to the dewdrop in? I think Scott must have burned it to the ground. See you later, Graham.
Okay, Net Control recognises VK3 HJQ push bike mobile. And good to see you there, John. Please stand by. There was somebody else trying to check in, and the push bike just happened to ride right over your call sign. Didn't hear a thing. So who else was trying to check in on this round? Please, your call sign once again, phonetically and twice.
November 9, Kilo Golf Charlie. That's N9, KGC, Ray from Indiana.
Net Control recognises our good friend, N9KGC, Ray, all the way from Evansville, Indiana. Ray, got you on the list there, sir. Anyway, push bike mobile, Victor Kilo 3, Hotel Juliet, Quebec. John, welcome, sir. And I do believe some of the networks and the usual networks and the connections and all the rest are in a bit of a transition right now. So, anyway, I can see from the connections there's lots and lots of people there. So, good stuff. Anyway, John, what do you have for us, sir? And you're out there push bike mobiling, and you're putting us all to shame. You're putting us all to shame, all sitting in the armchairs and everything else. And you're out there doing exercise. Great stuff. VK3 HJQ from GM0 UUB. My friend John, over to you, sir.
Oh, off the racetrack.
VK3 HJQ Bicycle Mobile from GM0 UUB. John, I didn't hear much of anything. I heard a word here and a word there. There was something, there was a big noise. I don't know what it was. Are you standing maybe next to a big truck that's making an awful lot of noise or something, some generator or whatever? But John, you were very much kind of overridden by a lot of noise. That's all I can say. I can't even identify what it might actually be. John, apologies for that, but no, we didn't hear much at all. So I'm just taking my time to pass it back to you. Maybe it's just somewhere you are, maybe the location, you might have to move a wee bit away from something, but there was a lot of interference, a lot of noise. We could hear your voice in the background, but unfortunately, never heard much of the conversation. So let me try again. VK3 HJQ. John, welcome once again. Happy Friday, happy Saturday morning to you, sir. And let's try that again, sir. Like I say, we hardly heard anything, so please try again. Back to you, John.
Yeah, that's what's the way, not copying that Graham. Anyway, instead of breathing down, I'm going to take 3 HJQ push like that off.
Okay, John, hey, listen, that was a little bit better. We could hear your voice. Your voice was basically the same kind of volume as the background noise. There was just something there. So, I don't know, John, do you want to try again, or will we just move on? It's entirely up to you, sir. But that last transmission, I could make out what you were saying. VK3 HJQ, Bicycle Mobile from GM0. Okay, I think I'm back, folks. We had a bit of a hiccup on the internet here in Alloa land, and there we go. But I think I'm back. This is Golf Mike Zero Uniform Bravo. Graham here, Net Control, and we were speaking to John out there in Victoria, Australia. So, John, I will come back to you. I do have N9KGC on the list as well. Ray, I'll come back to you shortly, and yeah, and sorry for any confusion. Like I say, we had a wee bit of a hiccup in the internet, but I do believe we're back. Victor Kilo 3, Hotel Juliet, Quebec, Bicycle Mobile. John, your last transmission, we did hear a little bit better. You still had some kind of background noise, not too sure where it come from. But anyway, John, do you have anything else for us? Do you want to repeat what you're trying to say to begin with? Please, it's over to you, sir. VK3 HJQ Bicycle Mobile from GM0 UUB. UUB, and sorry for the confusion. Over to you, John, if you're still there. Okay, nothing more heard, and yep, okay, I think all lighting up, good stuff. So, Ray, sorry about that, sir. I don't know if you heard me passing over to you the first time round, but like I say, I had a wee bit of a disconnect there. I think I'm all back. So, November 9, Kilo Golf Charlie. Ray, welcome to the net, sir. Happy Friday. And how are you? And the microphone, my friend, it's all yours.
Well, hey, Graham, GM0UUB. This is N9KGC. No, I might have missed it the previous time, Graham. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, not much happening. I missed this net last week, I think. I didn't have a radio with me where I was. I don't know why. Or, yeah, I think that was last week. Anyway, it all kind of blends together. So it's been hot here. It's been really warm, near 40 degrees Celsius, upper 30s for sure, which is 100 or better, about 98 to 101 or something Fahrenheit. So it's been very hot. Today it cooled off a little bit, not a lot. Not too much happening, so I just wanted to get checked in here, say hello to everybody, and had the motorcycle out today, actually. I guess it was around lunchtime. I took an extra long break from work and took that red motorcycle. I think you've seen the pictures of it. Took the red one out, just locally, just around here in town. And that's about it. I'm just finishing up here. And I'll give it back to you, Graham. Back to Net Control from N9KGC.
N9KGC from GM0UUB. Well, thank you so much, Ray, for being there. And just wondering how you're connecting. Are you coming through one of your All-Star nodes, whatever else it is, or are you coming through with your ZMR 851.900? Whichever way you're connecting, sir, you're sounding great. And yeah, I think when I was passing it on to you, for some reason our internet went down. Usually we have to kind of reboot it. It takes about 2 or 3, well, maybe 2 minutes to kind of come back up again. And I jump onto the iPhone and use my repeater phone app to kind of fill in the time. So I was just doing that, and then I saw the All-Star nodes lighting up again. So the internet kind of went down and rebooted itself very, very quickly. So good stuff. Anyway, there we go. And well, thanks, Ray, and good to know you were out on the bike and everything else. Or one of your bikes, I think you were thinking about selling one or two. I'm not too sure how many you've got, but weeding out the bikes and in the garage there. But good stuff. And no, it's always great to hear from you, Ray. So yeah, how are you connecting just now? You're sounding great. And yeah, and are you actually going to sell any of your bikes? Are you kind of so reluctant you're just going to hang on to them? I'm not too sure. Anyway, back to you. N9KGC from GM0UUB.
Well, okay, Graham. Well, I'm connecting through the ZMR 851.900 link that you've maintained there. It's been working pretty good. But I have my other radio with me that I could use to connect. I got the R Finder here next to me. I could use the All-Star node with that, or Fusion or DMR. Use Fusion on the R Finder with the help of DV Switch. So I was prepared just in case this wasn't working. But I am on the 851.900. I do like the way the All-Star node's working now. I might have mentioned that last time I was on this net. I'm using the Radioless node running on the Raspberry Pi, and I can connect to that from anywhere that I have internet on the R Finder. So that works really well. I don't have to have anything with me, to make that work. The motorcycles. Well, real quick, I currently still have 3 of them. One of them's going to go. I got to sell one just because 3 is excessive. I got to get rid of one. I just can't make the decision which one to advertise for sale. And I was hoping to have something sold by now because this is like prime riding season. If you wait till the end of the year, it's too late. So I should do that. I just don't know which one to put for sale. So back to you, Graham, from N9 KGC.
Very good, Ray. Well, I think you love your bikes, and unless you actually have to, I can't see you selling any of them. There you go. We'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, good stuff. And no, I'm so glad you're enjoying all that and everything else. So good stuff, good stuff. You're sounding great coming through the 851.900. And we have had some one-way traffic through some of the IRN crosslinks. Over the last week or two for no apparent reason. They've been kind of reset and restarted and everything else, and within a couple of days it goes one way, but anyway, these things happen. Everything's sounding great right now, so that's always a good thing. But Ray, good to have you there, sir, really is. And the R Finder, just a quick question, sir. I've looked at that R Finder, and it looks absolutely amazing, it really does. Kind of, figures out everything in your area, all the different repeaters and everything else, and they can get you all kind of set up without much programming. So I believe, I don't know, I've never used them, and they're quite expensive, so I've never kind of contemplated getting one, I have to say. But yeah, tell us a little bit more about the R Finder. Is that one of your go-to things in your closet there, sir? N9 KGC from GM0 UUB.
Well, I'll tell you, Graham. I had a B1, which it was okay, and then I upgraded to the B1 Plus. I guess it's been almost 2 years now. I had them both for a short while. Something had to go, so I sold the B1. I do not take it with me anywheres other than here to the shop at work. It almost never leaves the house. I'm just afraid of dropping it or damaging it. It is overpriced for what it is. Now, it's a great device. And you're correct. You don't have to do any programming. You bring up that repeater directory and you just click on it. Well, you set the parameters. Do you want to find all the UHF repeaters or VHF repeaters or both? Then you set the mileage, within 20 miles, within 10 miles, whatever. And it brings them up because it knows your GPS location. And then you just click on it and yeah, you're done. Whether it's an analog repeater or a DMR repeater, and it sets everything up. Color code, time slot, frequency, offset, everything in a second. So it's great. But I got to be honest, the device is too flaky. There's too many things that make it. Let me back up and say this. If it worked flawlessly, it would still be overpriced. And because it works with some quirkiness to it, makes it way overpriced. So the way I use the R Finder now is with DV Switch. So I can do fusion reflectors, D-Star, DMR, P25, NXDN, my All-Star node, which is radioless, Zello, TeamSpeak, and Plummel. So it's a perfect device because it runs all those apps flawlessly. The greatest thing somebody can do to an R Finder is remove the R Finder software off it. It's just plagued with problems. Let me unkey real quick before I ramble on too long. Okay, I'm back. So it's a great device. It's just, it's overpriced for what it is. There's something better out now called the ComJot. That's COMJOT, right? ComJot. And the model number is CJ1. Built on the same Alps run mode device that the R Finder is built on, but completely different software. Runs Android 14. You can get these with 128 meg of of RAM and what is it, 128 gig of storage? 128 gig? I think that's right. Anyway, it's worth looking into. So they're both very unique devices. The RFinder was the first one. They were on the cutting edge of all that. But there's room for improvement in the software. And of course, like I say, the device, the hardware, the RFinder guy, Roberto, whatever it is, he has nothing to do with that hardware. He's got no control over that at all. And he's at the mercy of Alps and Runbow. So the way the device is made on the assembly line, because I also have a Runbow. I've got a plain Runbow, which is the same device, much cheaper. You can get that you can get the E81 for under $400. I don't know if that answers the question, and I hope I didn't sound too negative about it. But that's it. That's my input on the RFinder B1 Plus. Back to you, Graham. And 9 KGC.
Oh, thank you so much, Ray. And hey, listen, we really do enjoy your reviews. I know you used to do them much more. I think you used to post up many kind of reviews on YouTube and everything else. Don't know if you've been doing anything along those lines for some time, but we do trust you. And that was absolutely amazing, great clarity, and absolutely wonderful to hear that. And I've always wondered about the RFinder. It just seemed to be an awful lot. But when you looked at the spec, you thought, well, really, if you deliver, maybe it'll be worth the price. And you've already said, well, even if it delivers, it's maybe still overpriced. So, no, I think you've kind of confirmed what I suspected. So there we go. But it just, when you look at the spec and the details of what it does, you kind of think, hey, listen, that'll be, take a lot of the groundwork and the legwork and trying to figure out things for myself. But having said that, we're amateur radio operators there, Ray. And, I thought I would never get myself into DMR. I was quite happy with everything else, system fusion, everything. That was great. It was kind of simple. But last year I got myself the Anytone 878 UV2 Plus and learned about code plugs, color codes, time slots, this and that, programming code plugs. And actually, at the end of the day, once you do it for yourself, there's a bit of an achievement there as well. So I've enjoyed learning a little bit more about the infrastructure, just how DMR is set up and everything else. So good stuff. And I've written down ComJot CJ1, that new device. I'll have to go and check that out. But no, thank you, Ray, and thanks for all you do. And like I say, you used to put up an awful lot more kind of reviews and everything else. Is that something you're going to do a little bit more of in the future? I'm not too sure. Let's one more time pass it back to you, sir. N9 KGC from GM0 UUB Net Control.
Graham, yeah, I'll keep it real short. Yes, I plan to do some more reviews here in the near future. I kind of got away from it for a little while. Most of those devices I always bought. Almost all of them I bought. There was very few that were sent to me. A couple that were sent at a really, really discounted price. But the RFinder I did buy. I paid for that. They weren't interested in sending me one. So I had to pay for that. But I have something else I'm working on with TalkPod. I don't know if anybody's seen it. There's something called the TalkPod N58 Plus. Now, we've had other TalkPods here, and I still have an N58 or 59, which I use occasionally. But this 58 Plus, runs Zello, and it's just a network radio or an IP radio, and it works good. But the Plus version has this other feature they've come up with. It's a virtual dual band, VHF, UHF, but there's no RF. They've got their own server running. You've got a VSO, so you can tune in any 2-meter frequency or any UHF ham frequency. But it's all fake. It's all virtual. And anybody else in the world that's got the same radio tuned to the same frequency, you're on a VoIP platform very similar to Zello. Well, I haven't had my hands on one yet, but that's going to be the next review if they actually do send one to me. So I'll let you know about that. Back to you, Graham, from N9 KGC, and I'll be here listening through till the end.
Well, thank you so much, Ray, and thanks for all you do, and for obviously yourself and ZMR is connected to International Radio Network on a 24/7 basis as well, not just on the multimode system, but on our non-RF linked system. So, Ray, we certainly do enjoy our participation with yourselves on ZMR land. Thanks so much for doing that. And great information, absolutely wonderful. And I see it's even sparked a wee bit of conversation or a wee bit of comment from our friend Scott there on the AIM window. So Scott, maybe you want to check in, I'm not too sure. I'm kind of tempted just to give him a wee shout because the check-in lists have been kind of 2 or 3 at a time. So let me see if Scott is out there. But thank you, Ray, so much for your check-in, and just to kind of try and keep the continuity going. Let me just go and see if Scott's actually wanting to check in, and we'll go and give him his round before we go for another round of check-ins. So we thank you, Ray, and really do appreciate all the information there. Absolutely wonderful. So we take care, sir. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, stay well. Hey, listen, keep the 3 bikes. You know you love them all. And we'll no doubt speak to you again very soon. So we'll say 73 to N9 KGC, and let's see if Scott is out there. Kilo Yankee 4, November Bravo. Scott, are you there, sir? Would you like to take it up, sir, before we go for another round of check-ins? Scott, the microphone is yours.
Zero UUB, MM7 HQS, KY4NB, and Robbie Ray here from Linda Elvis and Barbecues. Well, hi, Graham and Queen Helen, and hope everybody's doing well on that side of the pond. And I've been in and out on the net today a little bit from work and now here. But anyway, I think I'm standing on the X here in the house where the internet works pretty good, and also an to a local repeater, so this is a good spot. But anyway, Robbie Ray's over here in the chair, and we can get her to talk here in a minute. But it's hot and it's humid. It'll get hotter and more humid, but that's the South in the summer, Graham. So anyway, I don't know if I'm supposed to be yakking yet or not, but thanks for the check-in, and I guess I thought I'd get a start on talking. So yeah, thank you again for the check-in, and good to hear everybody out there and Raymond's review and all. That's wonderful. That ComJot is actually about as expensive as the RF Finder, maybe a few $100s less. But yikes, why is all that stuff so expensive? But anyway, I'm sure it works great and all when you get your hands on one. Let me take a pip, Graham, and send it back to you and see if I'm supposed to be talking yet. KY4NB.
KY4NB from GM0 UUB, Net Control. Scott, of course you are still, you're meant to be talking. Pass it over to you. It's absolutely wonderful to have you. And of course, Robbie Ray, Third Party Traffic on the net. Indeed, it wouldn't be the same without you guys checking in, that's for sure. And no, I just thought as we were listening to Ray's review there, I just thought I saw your additions on your comments on the AIM window there on NetLogger. I thought, well, they just bring you straight in. We're just about to go for another round of check-ins, but I knew you'd be there, so I thought for continuity's sake, just get you on and hear your views, and that's absolutely wonderful. So no, please continue, sir. And it's these things are awfully expensive, aren't they? I think Ray has already said, even if it works absolutely wonderfully well, it's still kind of overpriced. So goodness me. But I think there's a certain enjoyment there, Scott, when you're kind of working away and building up your own code plug and doing this and doing that. Certainly over the last 12 to 18 months, I've enjoyed. I have to say, enjoyed. And I didn't think I would enjoy learning about time slots and code plugs and color codes and everything else. But once you get your head around it, it's an achievement. So it's always a good thing. But there we go. Scott, no, the microphone's yours, sir. Please go ahead and take it away Once again, KY4NB from GM0UUB. Go ahead, sir.
Be returning. Well, thanks, Graham, again for the check-in. And I did look at the DMR on that, an app for the iPhone that worked for a little bit of time as a test, and then that went away. And so anyway, I never got that going again on the iPhone. I think that upgraded version. I forget what it was called, but anyway, the DMR just sounds, I don't know, it just doesn't computerish, twangy. I don't know. I know it's supposed to be awesome and great and wonderful, and I'm sure it is, and a great sense of achievement, but I'd honestly like how All-Star sounds better than anything. But the Echo Link on the phone works, so that's what I'm using. The repeater phone app, great, works, All-Star, Echo Link, but it sucks the battery down awful on the phone. I mean, it really does. So if it's plugged into something, great, I can use it, but All-Star connection, but it just really does a job on the battery life. It's awful. So it's mostly here with this Echo Link. I tell you what, I heard that guy speak from Australia, or to the Australians one night. I got up about 4 in the morning, and the founder of that, or created the Echo Link. And anyway, it's a good talk. It's been a bit of time now. I probably forgot most of it. I know HJQ would know him, but anyway, it's a good app. I like it. And so anyway, we're talking. That's what counts, Graham. And yes, lots of challenges in ham radio for sure. Let me take a pip and see if Robbie Ray wants to say hi real quick before I turn it back to y'all. KY4NB, taking a pip, and then I'll be back. 4NB returning with Robbie Ray, third party. Do you want to say hi? Right here, Robbie Ray.
Oh, hey, Graham and Helen. I'm just saying hi. I'm kind of in the middle of trying to figure something out on something electronic, so I'm in deep thought. But I wanted to say hello, and I'm going to give it back to Scott. Kiss the dog for us.
Say hi to Laird Mack, and hi to Queen Helen, and hi to everybody else around the world, Graham, and lots of challenges on lots of things to learn as we get older here, but that's good for the brain. Back to you guys, and we love y'all, and hope everybody has a good day or evening wherever you are. KY4NB and Robbie Ray, back to net.
KY4NB from GM0UUB. Well, Scott, thank you so much. And Robbie Ray, great to hear you, my friend. It really is. And, well, I don't know if you heard the traffic earlier. I think you said you're trying to work on something electronic there. And, well, Robbie Ray, please do not use a metal a knife to do anything, especially if the electronic device that you're working on there happens to be plugged in and turned on. Goodness me. And I don't know if you heard the traffic earlier there, Scott, but myself and Helen, we had a wee trip up to Inverness yesterday to see my mum, and a nice day and everything else. We came back home. I phoned her to say yesterday evening we're back home nice and safe, and she was saying, oh, I've had a terrible evening. What did you do? And, well, she gave herself an electric shock. For some reason, she saw some dust or debris or something. I don't know. It's probably something that's meant to be there at the bottom of an electric fire that was on. And she tried to pull it out with her fingers, couldn't make it. So through to the kitchen she goes and gets herself a metal knife, and sticks it into the hole to try and pull this out. Gave herself an electric shock. And well, thankfully, everything was closed down very, very quickly, and didn't cause her any harm. So thankfully, no harm was done. But yeah, the house was in blackness. She had to go to a neighbour to get get his help to get everything turned back on. And I have to say, Scott, she only had her circuit board kind of renewed about 2 years ago. Prior to that, it was kind of very old. So I'm so glad that was done, because it could have been a very different story. So Robbie Ray, if you're out there doing something, I think you said electronic, do not stick a kind of metal a knife into anything that's turned on at the mains. Yeah, make sure it's all turned off. So there we go. Anyway, Scott, do you have anything else for us? Yes, and thankfully, we're kind of laughing, but goodness me, that was a bit of a close shave for my mum last night, and she turns 90 this year. I don't know how she lasted so long. Anyway, KY4NB from GM0UUB. Back to you one more time there, Scott.
And Robbie Ray returning. Well, we're glad she's okay there, Graham, for sure. And yes, metal objects and electrical, and that doesn't mix too well. We had our circuits redone with breakers instead of screw-in fuses, these round fuses. And so I'll never forget one time replacing the air conditioner because it didn't work, and I'd only replaced one of those round fuses and not the other one. And so we pitched that one when it would have worked the whole time with a new fuse. So yeah, don't ask me to do anything real complicated with that stuff for sure. And metal dump trucks and electric sockets don't work either. I did that as a kid. Here's Robbie Ray, third party.
I took a small metal a knife, a bread butter knife, and I was removing a plate off of where you turn the switch on of a light, and I didn't know you needed to turn off the electricity. I thought, well, I'm just going to change the switch plate, and so I unscrewed the screw, and it went, and dark, thing up the wall, and anyway, everything was fine, but I learned my lesson on that one, too. That was a long time ago. We're glad your mom's okay, though.
Back to you, Graham and Queen Helen. Glad everybody's safe. Say hi to the Queen for us. 7-3, KY4NB, back to net, and Robbie Ray.
Scott, Robbie Ray, it's always a pleasure, guys, and we love you to bits, we really do. And I think the moral of the story is do not use a metal knife or anything to, anything that's live, just do not do that. But of course, those of us that have worked with radio and communications for many decades, we've done a few things, that's for sure. I've got myself a few wee shocks here and there, especially some decades ago working on the old equipment, the old valve equipment. Goodness me, used to give a few wee jolts there, here and there. But good stuff. Anyway, guys, take care, and thanks again for taking the time to stop by today. Myself and Helen, we really do appreciate that. We really love to hear you guys. So we have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe and stay well. We'll say 73 to KY4NB. Scott, and with Robbie Ray as third-party traffic. Absolutely wonderful, guys. Thank you. And with that, we are at the bottom of the list. We do have a check-in from the AIM window there. And I think he said in and out. But with that, let's go and see, just in case. Mike, are you still with us, sir? Kilo Charlie 9, Lima Romeo Bravo. I know you said in and out on the AIM window there, but before we go for another round of check-ins, let's just go and see if Mike is still with us and actually want to press the PTT. KC9 LRB from GM0UUB. Mike, if you're there, sir. Happy Friday, and the microphone, it's all yours. Please, go ahead.
Sure, UUB, KC9LRB. Yeah, I'm still here, Graham. Great to hear your voice, and glad to be back on the net. Sorry to have missed the last week. Things here in Indianapolis are going well. It's cooled off a little bit since last week. It was hovering around probably about 34 degrees, 35 degrees Celsius. So it's about 95 degrees if my math is correct. But down in the 80s now, but very humid. So, and I apologize. But other than that, giving big Scottish, which in the U.S. I call it snatch and smush with the two cats, Enzo and Pippa, but always loving them and loving being on the net. So with that, without further ado, I will say 73 and send it back to net control. This is KC9LRB.
Very good, Mike. Well, thank you so much for being there, sir. Really do appreciate that. And well, I'll just say, if people are listening out there, people check in, and there's obviously lots and lots of listeners, and they go, oh, I wonder who that is, and a little bit more about him, and all the rest. And I do encourage people to keep their QRZ.com pages up to date as much as possible. It really does enhance everything. So, but anyway, if you follow the QRZ.com for Mike there, he's also got his own web page, so you can learn a little bit more about Mike's life. So, thank you, Mike, for doing that. And like I say, I do encourage people to keep their QRZ page a little bit updated. Maybe put a wee picture of themselves up, their neighbourhood, this and that. It's always great fun to, it just makes the whole microphone. A communications back and forth even better. So thanks for doing that, Mike. So I hope you don't mind me just asking people to go and check you out in QRZ and your website there. KC9LRB. Can I throw it back to you, Mike, one more time before I go and do probably the last round of check-ins? Mike, back to you, sir, from GM0 UUB. Good to have you on board, sir.
All right, fantastic. Well, I certainly appreciate the plug for my QRZ page and my very amateur radio web page. You'll notice that I'm not a web designer, but hopefully, if anybody wants to check out my page, they'll learn a little bit about me. And I put up some links there on a page of ham radio, and I'm working on some non-ham radio things I find interesting. But I do appreciate it, and I agree, Graham, that QRZ is a wonderful resource, and it is very nice to be able to learn about the people you're communicating with, because people lead such interesting lives, and at some points you can even live vicariously through them. So with that, I will say 73, and thank you, Graham, and I will send it back to you. This is KC9LRB signing off.
Well, thank you, Mike, so much, and it was great to have you back on board on the Friday KB1 Multimode Net. Really do appreciate that, and well, like you say, it's just great. We meet so many people on the radio, and it's wonderful just to just kind of follow it up with a wee click on the QRZ.com, and maybe see a wee picture of them, a wee picture of the neighbourhood they're in, any critters they might have, and some information, and also other interests and hobbies and everything else, and wee links. So, well, thank you for doing that, sir. Really do appreciate that. And I kind of intend for maybe this summer to put up some pictures more of the neighbourhood. I've got my info kind of up to date on QRZ, but I think maybe more kind of pictures of the neighbourhood I'm living in. That would be quite good. So maybe I'll do that. So anyway, thank you so much, Mike. You take care, sir. And 73 to you, KC9LRB from GM0 UUB Net Control. All the best, sir. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe and stay well. And with that just brings us down to the bottom of the list. So we have been here for 2 hours and 50 minutes. So we'll be closing the net down very soon, folks, and I do know there's still quite a lot of people connected. So I'm going to give a final round of check-ins. So a final call for check-ins. This is Golf Mike 0, Uniform Bravo. It's Graham here in Alloa, Central Scotland. Your net control for the IRN KB1 Multimode Net, and this is a final call for check-ins for today, folks. So the final call, if you want to check in, you know what to do. It's your call sign slowly, phonetically, and twice. Please call now. still connected? Yes, we are. Okay, this is Golf Mike Zero, Uniform Bravo. It's Graham here in Alloa, Central Scotland, your net control, the KB1 Multimode Net. And we were looking for a final round of check-ins. There was nothing heard, which is kind of unusual. I can see there's lots of connections, but I do know there's been kind of a connectivity and different networks and things happening, so we just have to wait and see what adjustments are working as time goes on. But anyway, not to worry. It's been an absolutely fantastic night. I'll be closing it down, but I will give one more shout out, just to see if there is any stragglers out there wanting to check in before we close down. This is GM0UUB. Graham, your net control, looking for more check-ins, and your call sign slowly, phonetically, and twice. Please call now. Okay, nothing heard. So, once again, folks, this is Golf Mike Zero, Uniform Bravo. I've been your net control operator for this week's edition of the International Radio Network's KB1 Multimode Net, and it's been an absolute pleasure and a privilege to speak to everybody. Honestly, guys, it's been absolutely wonderful, and I'm always amazed every single week that we have a wonderful conversation for 2 to 3 hours, nearly 3 hours again today, folks. So thank you so much. And I want to thank not just people that checked in, but also the people that have connected up all the various nodes and gateways, repeaters, networks, and everything else. Without you guys, it just wouldn't be a net, that's for sure. So thank you, everybody. Please check out our website. That is allthews.irn.radio, and that of our partners. That's allthews.extendedfreedom.network. And once again, thanks everybody for being here. And this is Golf Mike Zero, Uniform Bravo. Graham here alongside the MM7HQS, Helen, Queen of Scotland, in the Royal Box there, and just waving a hand, saying have a wonderful weekend. Toodle pip, tatty bye, and 73. Take care, everybody. GM0UUB. I'll be clear.